Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Recording in progress.
Hey, welcome everyone. Good morning. Thank you guys for joining Stocks Average Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. It is 6 a.m. Eastern. The early bird gets the worm. Welcome, guys. It's Monday morning, June 9. So thanks everyone for joining. I appreciate you guys. We've switched up the times this week just for a few things that we're doing over here. So I have to get started these sessions. Monday and Friday this week will be this time, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll go over the schedule. Will be live Londons with myself on YouTube and Zoom. So just if you want to join us in London tomorrow, join us. It's going to start at 2 a.m. Eastern and we'll go till about 5 a.m. Eastern, okay? So we're switching things up, but that's all good. We can see different sessions, we can see different volume, we can see how things move at different times of the day, okay? And then Dave will be regular hours Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, okay? So we're going to go over everything, guys. It is the start of the week, so we're going to go over Forex Factory, all the news this week. We're going to highlight the important days. We're going to go over earnings this week as well. We'll highlight the important corporations that are reporting, and then we'll get into the charts. And we'll do gold. We'll start off with gold top-down analysis, and then we'll move into Dow Jones top-down, and then we'll bring both of them together, and we'll watch how everything moves. Right now it's pre-New York, 6 a.m. Eastern, and then we'll get into COMEX. And then unfortunately, guys, I do have to wrap it up at 9 a.m. right before Wall Street. I know it sucks, but I've got a buddy that's coming here to help me out, and we got to put up some a soundproof wall in this little studio room I have going on over here. So you're gonna see there's gonna be a lot of renovations. Maybe I might be streaming tomorrow, and you're gonna see no furniture behind me because it's gonna be all moved out of the way. So guys, let's get into it. I hope everyone had a great weekend. You guys are all got some sleep. You guys relaxed, and we're ready to go. Okay, so welcome everyone. Good morning, and let's get started. Okay, so first thing, what we do is we're going to go over Forex Factory this week, especially today. There is a lot of banks closed in Europe over here. So I can see that the Swiss banks are closed all day, French banks are closed all day, and German banks are closed all day. So if you were trading London this morning, you might have seen it was a little lighter on the volume over here due to some European banks that were closed, okay? We've got some news coming through on the Chinese money to supply. So that's year over year. It's increasing from 8% to 8.1. We also have some Japanese money stock year over year, and that's increasing as well over here from 0.5 to 0.6. We don't have any news today. So going through like the 8 a.m., the North American news, Wall Street, we don't have anything. Okay, guys? So just treat today like a regular Monday. It's coming off the weekend. Just careful trading, proper risk management, and take it bar by bar is like what we say here. Take it candle by candle. But make sure you do your top-down analysis while you're bringing it down to those individual bars, okay? Let's check Tuesday, Tuesday of this week. Again, light day in the markets. So tomorrow we will be starting at this time, 2 a.m. Eastern, bright and early. So if you guys want to join us for London's, that will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we will go through this. There is some British medium impact news, average earnings, claimant count change, and the British unemployment rate. Looks like it's increasing over here. Looks like every nation is increasing unemployment. Over here in Canada, it's 7% unemployment. There. I was reading an article that it might forecasting 7.5% unemployment here in Canada, which is really, really high, considering it was at under 4%, under 3% just a few months ago. So it is increasing rather quickly. Okay. And then we have London market that opens right here. And then we start to move into, again, the North American block. So nothing busy tomorrow. So, we'll just take it slowly. No big news. What about Wednesday this week? Okay, so Wednesday starts to get a little bit red. You can see the red folders there. Again, on Wednesday, we'll be doing live London. So if you guys want to join us, we'll be watching the British 10-year bond auction. the German 10-year bond auction. Then we move into North American block. Dave will cover this. And we do have 3 US red folders on midweek Wednesday. And they're very, very, very important folders. They're all regarding CPI, which is inflation. So we have our core CPI month over month. It looks like previous was 0.2% the previous month, and it looks like they're forecasting an increase in the core CPI. Core CPI, when you click on it, you'll know that core CPI is a change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers, you and I, excluding food and energy. So the core reading will be excluding food and energy, and in the one right below it, CPI month over month, this one will be including food and energy. Okay, they give you 2 readings there for analysts and things like that. Okay, and in the regular CPI, it looks like no change, 0.2. But this is a big one. This is our year over year CPI. So this time last year, CPI was 2.3. They're forecasting a 0.2% increase year over year. So 2.5, which is a big increase over one year span. Okay, but we'll see what the actual number is coming out here. And then later on Wednesday, you do have your crude oil inventories for any crude oil traders. That's your supply and demand. Always keep up with your crude oil inventories, your OPEC news if you trade crude oil. Very important. Then we have our US 10-year bond auction just after 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. If you're doing any post-New York trading, that could get a little volatile right there. And we move into Thursday this week. Again, we're going to be doing live London for a Thursday, so it's good. We do have lots of news this week in London, so it's worthwhile getting up this early in the morning. So we do have some British GDP month over month, lots of UK British news for Thursday morning, and then we move into our North American block. So on Wednesday we had our CPI, and then Thursday we have our PPI. So this is all to do, CPI was the consumers, and then PPI is the producers. Same thing, you have your core and regular. So when you just click on it, core PPI month over month, it is our change in price of finished goods and services sold by producers, and then core meaning excluding food and energy. We can see it was negative 0.4% previous month, and they're forecasting a positive 0.3% forecast, but we'll see the actual number. Okay, same with the PPI month over month. It was negative 0.5% last month. They're forecasting a positive 0.2%, and this does directly affect the US dollar. So if you guys are watching, just pay attention to this, to whatever securities you're trading. Okay, and then we have our weekly unemployment claims coming out. Last week, if you guys remember, last Thursday morning, it came out 247,000 was the actual number, and they're forecasting a little bit of a decrease to 241. This is your weekly unemployment claims. We just came off of non-farm payroll, which was rather good numbers. They were green, so we'll see how everything moves into this week, leading into FOMC next week. Okay. And then we had the 10-year bond auction this week in the US. We also have a 30-year bond auction, same time, 1:01 p.m. on Thursday. Okay, and then to wrap up the week on Friday, again, not very busy. Okay, so for Friday, we'll do this time again. We'll come in 6 a.m. Eastern, and we'll go till 9 a.m. Eastern, and we'll watch what's going on all over here. Okay, and then Friday, you do have your US preliminary University of Michigan consumer report and your University of Michigan inflation expectations. 2 red folders coming out of Wall Street on Friday, so just be careful trading there. Okay, so that's our news this week. We do have CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday. So that's the big red folders this week. Careful trading at that time when they're releasing those numbers, okay, because it could be volatile. Moving into earnings this week. So let's get started over here. Monday, let's go Monday pre-market right now. Okay, so we got Graham Corporation, Motorcar Parts of America, and China Online Education. They're not really going to impact NASDAQ or S&P or Dow Jones really significant. So I don't really pay too much particular attention to names if they're not those big board names or something I'm directly trading. So in the after hours today, we've got Casey's General Stores, Calavo Growers, Limonera Company. Again, these are not going to significantly impact the US indices, so I'm not really concerned about these names. Moving into Tuesday morning, we have Academy Sports and Outdoors, United Natural Foods, Designer Brands, Smucker, no big names again. Moving into Tuesday after hours. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys are still trading GameStop. Maybe some of you guys are still holding this security. This is something worth watching. GameStop has been in the news lately. They're buying Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So they're kind of taking strategies kind of blueprint, just adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet on the reserves. So that could be significant. This could be announced, could be in their forecast, what's to come. So GameStop is reporting, GitLab, Dave & Buster's. Again, no real big names again. So we got to continue moving into Wednesday before the open. We got Chewy, Victoria's Secret, no big names. Get rid of this ad over here. Then we move into Wednesday after the close, Oracle, Oxford. You guys understand, I'm looking for those big names. I'm looking for Apple. I'm looking for Tesla. I'm looking for Netflix. I'm looking for Bank of America. I'm looking for some big name, a significant name that could move the markets, right? I don't see it this week so far. So Thursday before the open, Lovesac Company, America's Car Mart, Furniture, no big deal. Again, now, okay, so a little bit, finally, Thursday after close, we get Adobe. So something to do with tech over here. Adobe will be reporting. And then we move into Friday morning, not much. And then Friday after hours, probably nothing. Okay, guys, so you can see it's a rather weak market for earnings this week. No real big names, no significant names. No real big name to really affect the indices this week. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to earnings this week. No big names, okay? Do you guys understand why I look for those big names before I continue? Maybe some of you guys understand. I keep saying the big names are the ones that will move the markets. I don't think like Chewy is going to move S&P 500. So if I'm not directly trading that particular security, or if I'm not like an investor in it, I don't really pay too much attention to it, okay? So that's one way you can filter through everything, because earnings normally are very busy, but just, we only have so much hours in the day. Focus your time on what could really actually move the markets, okay? This is just some news right now going on in the markets. Canada could overshoot immigration targets, pushing unemployment rate higher. Like, that's what I was saying. We had 7% last week. They're saying that we could peak at 7.5. That's rather high unemployment. What else we got going on here? Okay, U.S. ambassador says Canada's economic hopes align with Trump's goals. Gas prices fell again in Canada this week. I filled up yesterday, just to give you... I have to put 94 in some of my vehicles, 94. So it's not the cheap kind, it's kind of the premium. Yesterday's price for premium in Canada was $1.68 per liter. Okay, not per gallon, remember, per liter. There's 4 liters in a gallon. Okay, so, and then with the exchange rate, you guys do the math. So here in Canada, where I am, for premium fuel is $1, let's just round it up, $1.70 per liter. Okay, you can compare that where you are around the world and see, is that a lot? Is it rather cheap? But remember, we in Canada go by liters. Okay, in US, you guys are gallons. So there's 4 liters in a gallon. Okay, so what else we got going on here? Tesla. Okay, Tesla's been in the news, guys. This is one to put on your watch list and pay attention. Everything that's going on with Elon Musk and Trump and the drama. And Tesla has the robo-taxi event coming up very, very soon. So that could be significant. So Tesla stock rebounds after Trump Musk blow up leads to $150 billion wipeout. That's wow. Okay. Fed seen in no rush to cut rates as U.S. job market cools but doesn't crumble. Okay, so we saw NFP last week. It was rather good. Came out pretty good. So next week we have our FOMC. We'll see if Powell is going to bring these rates down, if he's going to pause or increase. And that's what we got kind of going on right now. Okay, so right now in the futures, rather flat market. E-mini, S&P, rather flat. It's up 0.07%. Mini Dow, 0.08. NASDAQ, just negative 0.05. So no real significance going on right now. Rather flat market. And then let's just check our Discord over here, guys. These are our signals that we do send out. We've got some nice swing trades. So this swing trade started to move US oil for over 150 pips. So what we'll do is we'll continue to watch over here if we do get any signals. And guys on Telegram, thanks guys for joining. I know there's not a lot of you guys. It's rather early, but there is a free Telegram channel. This one over here, it's pinned at the top of the YouTube channel for you guys. This is today's live trading. Okay, and then we'll be doing fair value gaps on an education session either this week or next week when we got some time. We did Fibonacci, we did trend lines, and we're just going to continue it. These are all just by request by members. After every single session, whoever wants something, we go with it. Okay, it's kind of like a freestyle session, and you guys are in charge of what we're learning. Okay, so everything that you guys need is in our free Telegram over here. Subscribe to it, join it. It's free. And this is our website, guys. Lots of education on the website, but there is also a free blog available for you guys. So we did the trend one, trading like a robot, the weekly analysis for the members, the fib, trading on the US bank holidays again. So everything you need is all in here. As there's developing news and any education, we like to do blogs. Okay, and you guys see that we do have financial juice over here. To the left side, right above my camera. You can see that anytime anything comes in the markets, if we see some unusual volume, some unusual volatility, it could be because there is something going on over here. So if we get anything, we'll be the first to know, okay? So that will help us out. And I hope everyone had a great weekend. Let's get started. Welcome everyone on Zoom. Samuel, thank you. Good morning. Trev, welcome. Sang, good morning. Johnny Four Eyes, good morning. Welcome, guys. Zizi, welcome. Conrad, thank you for joining. Welcome, guys. Joel, thank you for joining in. And you guys on YouTube, thank you guys as well. I appreciate all of you guys. If you guys can kindly hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get into this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to get started with gold. We're going to do a top-down analysis, okay? So if you're trading it right now, I'm going to start on the higher time frames, and then we're going to move our way down, okay? So I'm going to start off on the daily, and we're going to start with our analysis. So is everyone good? Ready to go? It's just after 6:15 a.m. Eastern. We'll have all of our charts done prior to 7 a.m. We can take our time and then we can watch how things are moving into COMEX and right into 9 a.m. Okay. So right now on gold, what we do have is this inside consolidation from the all-time high up here and then to this recent pullback. Okay. So our entire range, our all-time high is 3,500. Okay, that's our all-time high. I'm going to use an orange line to represent all-time high. And then I'm also going to use an orange line to represent this last low pullback we had to 3,120. So that's our range. And you can see that on the daily, we're trading like right in the middle of it. So anytime when you're trading right kind of in the center or right in the middle of a range, it has a high probability of consolidating. It's either consolidating to try to come back up to this all-time high, where the buyers are accumulating, but also there's a lot of sellers that are accumulating as well. So it's just a game of whoever can accumulate more, and whoever's the aggressor will move the market. So either if the buyers are accumulating, we might continue to push back up and try for the all-time high. If the sellers are accumulating, they might have a high probability of coming back down and transacting back near this orange line. Okay, so that's where we are right now. We're still in consolidation here, but there is some focal points. There is some zones that we can also identify. So when we did come up to this all-time high, there was bodies of volume right here, bodies of volume right here. What we normally do is we box the volume in and we stretch into the future to kind of identify where things could possibly move into the future. So when you identify a zone, what you can do is kind of stretch it into the future. So right there, when we hit the all-time high, I make it a red zone. You can see it's kind of like the first top up here. But then when the market came right back up into the second top, you can see it kind of closed in there, got rejected and pushed back down. So this zone is, we can stretch it into the future. And you can see last week, we traded right into this zone. Tuesday of last week, Wednesday, Thursday, almost Friday. So you can see how it came in there, but it kind of lower highs, they moved it back down, okay? So we're moving away from the red zone, but the red zone is still there. So if you stretch it into the future, that allows you to keep it there in case we do come back up. But when we do have a supply zone, there is some zone of demand that is normally, you can visually see it. So what we've been watching was this bull flag right here in the market, which took us to the all-time high from here. So if I just make it green to illustrate that it is support or some sort of demand, you can see when I stretched it into the future, you can see that pullback came right in there again and bounced, and that's what took us to that second top, which failed. So if I continue with this zone again into the future, then I can kind of see what happens. On this day over here, mid-May, we closed below it. That's when we opened bearish, and that's what started that move to where that orange line is. But it quickly got rejected and came back and closed in the green box, above the green box, and we kind of consolidated, bearish, bullish, and then we started to move our way out with higher low, higher low, higher low. So this tells me that the buyers were in control. There was a little fake out of the zone, but the buyers picked it right back up and came back into the game where they kind of tried to push it back up to the red box, lower high failed, came back down. Again, good rejection off of there. We didn't trade into the green box. That's a higher low, kind of consolidated. One more big move to start the week of Monday, June 2nd, and a new month. And you can see last week we were trading in there, kind of failing. So we do have points of interest now. Now we have our zones established. We know what our overall big range is, but we also have zones, points of interest inside here. One point of interest is this location right here. So I use yellow lines for my daily points of interest. You can see we've been placing this line for weeks now at this location, 3,290. And you can see right there, this big blue bullish candle, 50% retest is right there. A body closed right there. You've got wicks and wicks bouncing. I know I see the impulse, but more so what I'm looking at is the volume. Volume closed right there, kind of retested there. Again, you got a nice big bullish candle. 50% is that yellow line. I can see a retest and a retest. This big bearish candle is representing around the 50%. And then you can see when we came right back up, it closed again, right at that yellow line. A retest, a retest, a retest, a retest. You can see that bearish body candle closed right at the yellow line. This one opened, this one closed there. You can see today, here is today's gold candle. The low of the day is relatively right close to that yellow line, you know. So that is a support line right now for a daily point of interest, 3290. It's still, I don't see any bearish volume closing below here. Maybe this week it will close below there, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And then this yellow line, 3290, will turn into a resistance line if the volume is below. And then it might come back up, retest this, get rejected, and we might be breaking this green block again and pushing back down. Okay, so we do have a supporting support point of interest on the daily. Do we also have one on the, like a resistance? We could find one we could start to look where there was some points of interest in the past, and we can kind of manipulate it. Like right here, you can see the body kind of where it closed, where it opened right here. Here you got an opening body. A closing body, opening body. You can see an opening body right at that yellow line. You can see this red candle close below. There was the retest of the yellow line. You can see we came up to the yellow line right there. And then I can now go more into what happened last week. Monday, you can see half of it is the yellow line. We retested it on Tuesday, volume closed above. We retested it again on Wednesday, volume closed above. We retested it on Thursday, volume closed almost right below it. Friday we opened, we came up, and we closed below it. So you see, if we come back up bullish today, that yellow line 33.48, just right below that 3,350 psychological number, could be resistance. Okay, so now let's work our daily candle so far today. Okay, I know it's early, it's very early in the week, but it's good to know what's going on. Okay, so let's just move with Friday's volume. So Friday was initially a bullish open. We opened bullish, and you can see that was the high on Friday. Friday's high is lower than Thursday's high, and we're still below that all-time high supply area. Okay, and then the sellers were in control Friday, where they pushed it all the way down. That was the low of the day, and that was the close. So you can see Friday had rather significant bearish volume and closing right near the low. Okay, so it's got a small wick on the daily. Okay, just like if we were scalping, that's important to note. Now, look at where they gapped up the market. Okay, you see we closed right there on Friday, 3,310, and then this is where they opened the market up here, 3,317. So that was a big gap up. This is where we opened right here today. So I'm just placing a yellow line where we opened. And what happened when we initially opened? It was bullish. Today was a bullish open, and we came, that's our highest point of the day, 3,328. So I place a purple line up there representing the high of today. And I could also look at where 50% is of Friday's bearish volume. If I do that, grab my Fibonacci tool. If I don't want to guess, place it where we opened and where we closed, and right there I can see there's 0.5. So I'm going to place a yellow line exactly right at 0.5, just in case we do come back and revisit the high of the day, and maybe we do break out a little bit of an impulse. We could be breaking an impulse right into 50% of Friday's volume. Okay, we also have a zone a little bit above and a little bit below. So if I want to draw a zone from Friday's volume, I do it like so, right there. Okay, a little bit above, a little bit below, bada boom, bada bing. That's what we say here. Okay, so we stretch this now into the future, and we make it red to signify or to illustrate that if we do trade back in here, that is still representing 50%, that right there, the meat of that candle, and it might come back in there and they might reject it back down. If the daily candle can close above here, then we change this zone to green. It might be support going into tomorrow, maybe into Wednesday. Okay, you can see that now we are still below it. We retested the bottom of the red box. There's the 50% yellow line. That's the top of the red box. So I still give the benefit of the doubt that the sellers are still in control. So I see when we opened, we came up there. They quickly rejected it. We came all the way back down to where we opened, and we broke. The sellers were in control. They took out Friday's low. So that is also a very important, that was last week's low. So that's why I'm identifying it with a yellow line, 3,307. And I see today we even broke and we came down to right there. So you see where our low of the day is? Okay, I know it's going to be two lines very, very close together, but that's our low of the day right there. Okay, I'm going to make it purple. And you see how close we are to that very important daily point of interest right here, that 3290. So very, very, very close to that low of the day there. Okay. If you don't need that yellow line there, you can get rid of it, but I'm just going to keep it there just so we can also know if we come back down, if the sellers come back down to the low of the day, I just want to also, then we can look at this yellow line again and see where we could, if we break. If we could break, where's the next logical area we could go? Maybe we could fill these wicks, but then that was that last low, 32.70. That's where I would place maybe another yellow line just in case it comes down there. That's where there could be some higher low support, okay? So what type of candle do we have right now? So when we hit the low of the day, it came right back up. It got rejected and it came right back up. So we're right back at the opening price. We're right back where we opened. So can they flip the candle bullish now? And then it will be a bullish pin bar and we'll come back up to test the high of the day. Maybe we can continue to break out of this 50% area right here on this big bearish candle, or you know, we might just consolidate in this range, okay? So that's how the daily candle is moving so far, okay? And then now when we look at the overall trend of what we got going on the daily, this is what we got. We got this big rally coming up. So it is still technically on the weekly and the monthly, gold is still bullish. We're coming up from this rally. That last low is a higher low from all of this structure. And even right there, that pullback is still a higher low. Even today's pullback is still a higher low. But we do have lower highs coming from above us from the all-time high. There's the all-time high wick rejection. This nice move in here is all lower high. Again, we came in last week. You can see we tested right into 50% exactly of that red zone, and they rejected it back down. That is lower high too. Okay, so slowly it's pushing down, slowly it's coming up. We're in the middle of the range. This is where it could get a little sideways choppy until it accumulates, and then we see our next move, okay? So right now, it's looking, you know, it's hard to say right now. It's because it's bullish on the weekly and the monthly. It's still coming up, but we're pushing down from the all-time high. This would kind of determine if we can get some good, solid daily bullish volume close above here. Maybe we'll retest this, and it will be point of control like a support, and then maybe this week we get that momentum to come back into this red zone. Then we can determine how we break above there. Are we closing? Then 100% is bullish, but we could also continue moving down and then coming back down in here, okay? But it's, even if it comes down here, it's still technically bullish because it might come down in the green zone, and then that's where it starts the big move, okay? But so far it's kind of indecision so far today. You got sellers pushing it down. You got buyers bringing it back up right where we opened. So let's go to the 1 hour and let's see what type of moves we have. Okay, so these are the hourly candles. I can see on Thursday, there was that big drop Thursday morning. We retraced right back up. You can see kind of right into 50%. So if you drew your Fibonacci tool from that high to that low, you can see the retracement came right back up. I would assume that that's about half of it, 50%, and then they continued to push it down. You can see the sellers were in full control. Lower low, lower high, new lower low. Again, it came back in here. They continue to push it down, push it down. Finally, we bottomed out. So I can see what time now we bottomed out down here. It was 10 p.m. Eastern last night on a Sunday. Okay, so 10 p.m. kind of bottomed out. We came up 11. There's midnight. There's 1 a.m. This is pre-London, 2 a.m. And then here's London market open. But remember all those European banks that I mentioned that were closed? So a little rather thin volume, but you can see we had the doji candle for London. It came up. That's what made the high of the day. And since then, we've been retracing back down. 4 a.m. bearish, 5 a.m. bearish, and here's 6 a.m. Okay, so you can see that red zone is still holding. Okay, now we've figured out an hourly bottom at the low of the day. You can, if you want to draw like a zone, and you see that yellow line now below me, that's what I use as structure. Okay, so this is a green zone on the 1 hour. Okay, so you can see when we came down there, that's the low of the day, purple line, but you see how close that other yellow line was? So that's why I kind of connected that all together and stretched it into the future. If gold comes all the way back down here to 32.95, I would say somewhere in here, it could be a double bottom and we could be going right back up. However, maybe if we build some structure somewhere, maybe right here at this daily point of interest yellow line, 3306, 3307. Maybe we find some support over here. So maybe looking at that yellow line and looking at those hourly bodies right there, that's where we might find some higher low support. This is a bigger block in the market, but what happens if we just kind of retrace right down to here, and that's it? The buyers are there and kind of push it right back up, and then we're moving back up here. And then this is a higher low from over here. Okay, first we got to test this and break this to come down here. Maybe it will come down here and hold this, and we're continuing to bounce back up. Okay, so that's one interest point that I'll be watching on the hourly. If it comes down here, I might be looking to buy this and reverse it back up. If the hourly sellers can close it below here, then we flip it red. We might be retesting this, and then the sellers might have momentum to bring it back down into here. But this is the bigger zone. That's where we could get the bigger bounce, right? Okay, but if they're building structure and they're building a depth of market, hopefully maybe here it's going to hold, and then we can continue to drive back up. Okay, but right now we're on a bearish leg coming down. We've got where they pinned it from the high of the day. We've got a lower low coming back up, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and a new lower low coming down. So you can see that big strong 2 a.m. bullish candle is being engulfed so far by these 4 hourly candles. And if they close below here, they've kind of engulfed all of that big bullish candle. And this hourly candle is going to close in 25 minutes. Okay, so let's go into the 5 minutes and watch everything on the fives. Okay, so this is what we normally trade, what we normally scalp over here. So I can see when it now hit the low of the day, I can see exactly what time it was, exactly at 10 p.m., 2200. And then I can see it kind of reverse from there, where it kind of made a higher high, higher low, a new higher high, higher low, broke through all this structure to the left of us, made new higher highs, higher lows, where it got up to the high of the day. Now I can see exactly it was at 320, 20 minutes after the London market open. And since then, we've been trending down. If you want to draw like a trend line from the high of the day so far on gold, you can certainly do that. You can kind of play the game, connect the dots right there. If we kind of, I've connected enough of them. I've connected the high of the day to that wick, to that wick, to those bodies, to those wicks. So you can still see it's still pushing down. We are descending. In order to get a nice confirmation, we got to see maybe buyers come back up, break that trend line, and then use the yellow line as maybe daily support, and then we can push back up for new highs. Okay, so far right now in the 5 minutes, you know, we can base everything off of this daily yellow line. You can see when that 5 minute bullish candle closed above, you can see the retracement came right back down to the yellow line, and we started to move back up. This bearish candle closed below, but it quickly opened with an ignited bar that came back and closed above, and we pushed up. Now we closed with bearish volume right below that yellow line, and again it came up and retested its resistance and pushing down. So on the 5 minutes, just like I did with the daily, just like I did with the hourly, I use this yellow line as a point of interest, but I can see that there's a little bit of structure right below it. You can see right there. That's where it was support. That's where it was. You see that bearish candle came in, and then big ignited bullish one came right back up. So with that zone continuing, now I see that it is now resistance on the 5 minutes. The volume is below this green box. So you can see if we stretch it into the future, it's still bearish, right? So maybe we'll see if it comes all the way down to our green zone. But right here, you see how there's a little bit of structure on the 5 minutes where we came up, went back down, came up, back down, came up, back down. There was when we broke it. There's some wicks. So right here, guys, you see right over here, that's a 5 minute point of interest. See right there at the bodies, there's a wick, That green candle, or sorry, bullish candle, blue candle closed above. You see the retest is the red line. You see when we came down is the red line. You see again when we came down is the red line. We might be coming down now, and we're going to see if this red line will hold as support again. If it can't, we might come down to the green box, and that's a better location to buy, in my opinion. If I had a choice to either buy the red line or down in the green box, obviously I'd want the market to come down to the green box because I get a deeper discount. but it might not. Maybe it might just come down to the red line, hold support, and then we continue to move back up, okay? As it did here, where it came up, pulled back, held support, and continued to move, okay? So on the 5 minutes, like I know it's a lot of zones and things like that. I know that this one is a bigger one down here, but on the 5 minutes, now I can see I use that red line as a point of interest. I see those wicks were resistance there. I see now when we closed above, everything turns to support now. So you can see if you stretch that, you can see when we came in, back up, came in, back up. If I use that same green zone into the future, we might be coming into it right now, and we'll see what type of bounce we get. So remember, this is just a 5 minute red zone. This is a 5 minute green zone. Okay, this is just to see if it will momentarily hold right now. Okay, so let's watch this going into the close in 40 seconds. We'll add some, if you guys like need indicators and things like that, you can add them. Otherwise, just keep your charts clean like this and let's watch, okay? In a moment, we'll do US30. We'll do the Dow as well. But right now, let's just watch for maybe 5 more minutes till we get into 6:45, see what's going on here, okay? Welcome, guys. Thank you guys on YouTube. You guys are not too much chatty today. You guys is it Monday morning? Everyone's tired over the weekend. Welcome, everyone. If you guys can hit the like button, we do appreciate it. We'll be going till 9 a.m. Eastern today. Showing a different side of the markets, different time today. Is anyone in a trade right now? Is anyone in gold in a sell or in a buy right now? Or are you guys just waiting right now? Samuel, short on gold. Oh, nice, nice. Trail it behind. I don't know where you took the sell, but it's pushing down. It's making lower lows, lower highs, new lower low. So this current trend is bearish. Johan, you're in a sell on US30. We'll get to US30 in just a moment. And we'll see how US30 is moving as well. Okay. So look at this bearish move on gold. We might come down into this green zone. So just looking back here at 2 a.m. pre-London, it came in there 2 times and bounced back up. Okay, so now it's coming back in right now. So let's see. Here it's going to touch that green zone. Okay, so we're going to see there's a 3.5 minutes still left on this. So is it going to break this green zone like impulsively, maybe come back up? Is it going to hold right here? Will it close below there? So all of these questions I have, but I won't get them answered until the bar closes in 3 minutes, okay? I can speculate what it could do, but I can't make a confirmed analysis until it actually closes. So right now it's still bearish, pushing down. Let's see if it can break this, if it will hold this, if it will reject this. Let's pay attention to this, because I can see back here it was resistance at midnight, it was resistance at 12:40, it was resistance at 1 a.m. Then we finally closed above there at 1:30 a.m. and then it pulled back pre-London and held it as support, where it had this big leg all the way up to which hit the highest point of the day, the purple line. And since then we've been pushing down. So now see how it came right into that green zone and got a nice wick rejecting out of there. Boogie, you're watching those NBA finals? Yeah. That first game, holy shit. Halliburton, man. That was clutch. But they were soft last night. Yeah, it was all Oklahoma. That's going to be a good series. We'll see what happens, but tonight, NHL, Edmonton, Canada against Florida. And US, holy, what a NHL finals. The first game went into overtime, Edmonton won. Second game, double overtime, and Florida won. That pest, Brad Marchand, with the game winner. He is a pest. Okay, so let's see. Now we've got 1 minute to go in this candle. So just, you remember, it opened, it was bullish a little bit, got rejected. It came all the way down. It got a wick where it looked like it was coming all the way back up, and then now the volume is continuing to push down. Awesome, Samuel. You're just scalping each candle close, 50% re-enter. It's beautiful. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing. Like the 50% rule, it's got nothing to do with trading. It's just psychology. It's just kind of like a magnet where volume, where there's a point of control. And also, if you're like in selling and you want a trailing stop loss, like look at this big bearish candle, 50%. All of those wicks and everything stayed below 50%. If you just had your trailing stop loss just a little bit above there, you still would have got this move coming down. That big bearish candle, 50%, we're still below it. This candle, 50%, we're still below it. Here's a big body candle right now breaking. Let's watch where it's going to close. Look at this. 10 seconds to go. Is it going to close below here or inside of it? Okay. And then also, talking about the 50% rule, we'll determine where 50% is. So there's the close in the green zone. So I can't flip it red as of yet, technically, because it closed right in the green zone. So I would have liked to see if the sellers could close it below there. Now, if I look at 50% of that bearish candle, 50% is relatively right where that red line is. So if it continues to get rejected there, it could break low wick and drop down into here. So like I was saying, if I had a choice to buy right here or buy down in here, I would like to buy down in here. Why? Just, it's cheaper down there, right? If I could buy a pair of shoes right now, a Michael Jordan shoes here, and they're $200, or I can wait 10 more minutes, and then those same pair of Jordans down here are $150, I'll buy them down here, right? So you got to kind of look at trading the same way. It's where the deeper discounts are. But sometimes while I'm waiting to get in here, the market might not come down. That's it. It's holding this zone right here. So that's where you can wait as patient as you want, but maybe the market is not coming down here because it's building a depth of market right here. So look at the response now out of that green zone. You've got a nice big bullish. It was an engulfing candle, almost engulfed this entire bar so far. But again, remember, there's 3.5 minutes to go. There's a lot of time on this, okay? So let's watch where it will close, and you can see that this green zone is still technically holding, but we gotta wait for the actual close of the candle, okay? Maybe we're building something off of here. These zones are also important too. If you're selling the market down, it's like an area where you could realize some profit. So like when the market was coming down here, like if you were selling, you could have kind of took some profit out there. If you didn't, yeah, it reversed back up, but then it eventually came back down. But sometimes it doesn't do that. Sometimes it bounces here and then it's going all the way back up to your entry point or your stop loss. So look at that big rejection now. Okay, can remember how bullish that candle was? It came all the way up there. That's still lower high, lower high, lower high, and the sellers are there that rejected it right back down. So this might turn into a shooting star candle and continue pushing down. So look at that. The buyers were there, but they just got rejected heavily. So now 2.5 minutes left. It's kind of like the halftime show. And now this is the second half. Are the buyers going to come back, or the sellers going to take possession, take control in the second half here? Okay, or we've got to wait for this to close. Maybe we consolidate here for a little bit. It might start maybe a little retracement back up, or sellers might continue pushing this thing down. Okay, so it is 6:47. We'll kind of wait for this body to close, and then I'm going to introduce US30. We'll do a top down on that. We'll bring both of these charts together so we can go into 7 a.m. and then we can walk into 8 a.m. with those same two securities, maybe look for a couple trades, and then we'll see how COMEX market opens in the next 8:20. Look at that now. Okay, that's a shooting star candle that's formed right now. So you remember how bullish that was? And look at the sellers. They rejected that move, and we're going to see if they can close it below here. It might have more, enough volume to push it down into here, okay? But we'll watch when it closes. How was everybody's weekend? Did anybody do anything special? I was really busy. I had to go get all the supplies for the renovations, drywall, 2x4s, electrical boxes, electrical wires, just to get started. And then I'll be going to Home Depot back and forth. I had to book my daughter's birthday. I had to book for my son's birthday coming up. They're June and July birthdays. What else? I had to book, go get my son a tuxedo or suit, like a suit for his graduation, grade 8 graduation. So I was just running around the entire weekend. That's what I was doing. Okay, so here's the close. It looks like an inverted hammer. Okay. So we're still closing. If we close in the green box, it's still a green box. Okay, so it could build now. Again, start another bullish leg maybe coming back up, but it's got to fill that big wick and then maybe close above structure here. So sellers could come in this market again and continue to push this thing down. Right now, it could just kind of consolidate right around here. Okay, so what I want to do is, while this is kind of just working this area right here, I'm going to do US30, and then we're going to bring both of these charts together. Okay, we're going to bring them side by side like this. So let's get started with US30 over here, and we'll bring them both in together. Okay, so US30, we're going to start it again on the daily. Okay, so just some points of interest. If you're just joining us, remember the all-time high, double top all-time high supply up there. That's 45,000 on Dow Jones. Okay, so you know it's a double top. There's the first all-time high. There's the second all-time high, came in there, rejected back down. Okay, so there was also a couple nice pivots that we've been acknowledging for quite some time now on US30. Like right over here where it held support pivot. If you stretch that into the future, it continued to hold the support. Holy shit, this mouse is garbage. Right there. Sorry, guys. This mouse, it's my favorite mouse, but I've been replacing the batteries. I've been doing everything, and it's still so... I got to get a new one, but this is my lucky mouse. I don't want to get a new one. Oh, man. So you can see when you stretch it into the future, okay, we came up, we closed above it, we retest it, we continue to push above. We do have a daily point of interest, like right here. Like even if you bring it into those bodies, anywhere around here, I kind of like to keep it at those bodies and the first retest and then see how the market reacted after. And we continue to push above, came back down. That bar did close below that green zone, but you see how quickly that ignited bullish candle starts and brings it right back up. And how many times did we retest this green zone? 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 times in there. And these are daily candles. And then we pushed back up, pulled back. We had a big Friday, big strong Friday candle. And look how tiny today's doji daily candle is on US30. Is it even alive, this thing? Look at it. Do you guys even see that? That's today's daily candle. That little range right there. That is unbelievable, okay? So it will start opening up very, very soon. We need to get that Wall Street volume, okay? Because right now, look at it, okay? So is there any points of interest or anything maybe else we need to identify? Okay, so if we start to break, what about this pivot point right here where it came right back up to there and it just stopped right there? Okay, so when it stopped right there, see it came up, stopped. came back down into the green zone. It came, look at where it stopped. Again, right at that yellow line. Then it came down, there's a 3-bar daily play. And then it closed above, look at what it retested, the yellow line. Look at where all of the lows and the bodies closed, at that yellow line again. So this area is significant. Okay, so are we going to move up there today? If we break Friday's high, we definitely could travel up there. Again, if we do break higher, right there, there's another point of interest right in here. You can literally see, let your eyes look exactly what they need to see right there. It came back down, stopped right there, back up. It came back down exactly there. There's tweezer bottom lows. When that bar closed below, you can see now that yellow line is resistance. There's the rejection, there's the rejection, there's the rejection. It's that easy, guys. So we can do the same what we did for the top, we can do for the bottom, just the same. Okay. Now let's just go off of Friday's volume-based candle. So we opened, okay, that was the low, higher low, higher low, higher low, pushing up. We did close. Did it take out that high? Yes, it did. It took out that high and it closed strong. Okay. Now we're using this yellow line as support. But can we also figure out where 50% of Friday's volume is and maybe a nice bullish zone? Yes, we can. Grab the Fibonacci tool right there. There's the 0.5 right there. Can I find a bullish zone in Friday's volume? Yep. 0.5, one line above, one line below, a little bit above, a little bit below, bada boom, bada bing, and stretch it into the future. Okay, now we got our nice bullish zone. If we ever do come back in there, maybe we'll bounce back up. Look at today's daily candle. Look at this doji. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is as thin volume as you can get. Okay, it looks like this candle hasn't eaten today. It looks like it's very hungry. It's looking for volume. It hasn't found it, but it's very skinny. It looks like malnourished. It's like on a diet, but we need to get this candle eating, okay? We need to get it some pancakes to eat here. We got to get some volume in this, okay? Because I don't want to trade this thing all day. This thing would give me headaches. Like it's got, look how tiny the range is, okay? But we still got to go with what we see here, okay? Where did it open? It opened right here. Okay, we're essentially where we opened, it went up and down and we're right back to the open. But when it opened, okay, it came up bullish. That's the high of the day. Okay, so the purple line, you're going to see all these lines are very close together because we have no volume. It's got no range. 42,825 is our high of the day. It's lower from Friday. If we move back to the high of the day, we could fill Friday's wick, no problem. Okay, just put your yellow line up there and then so we know. And then if it breaks the yellow line, where are we going up to? We can come right up to those bodies, to right there, 43,000 exactly. I would put a line right at psychological 43,000 right there. It's right at those bodies, 43,000, okay? That's to the upside. No problem, we could fill those, okay? But when we came up there, the sellers are there, they rejected it, and they pushed it all the way where we opened, and then we came down. The sellers were in control to the low of the day. There's the low of the day. Ask yourself, is the low of the day above this green zone? It technically is, okay? So what I can do with that yellow line is I can get rid of it. I can use my green zone as the first point. When we came down to the low of the day, it's a higher low, push right back up. We're right back where we opened. So this is how we are right now. So where could it go? Look at overall on the daily. It looks strong. Like it looks like a left shoulder inverted head that grabbed all that, came back in. So we're at this resistance, but it could break. We've got some room to move. Like it could move right through these, no problem. Okay, so we really got to watch. Are they going to fake it and bring it back down, or are they going to allow this to move up? We just have no volume on today's daily candle, but it will open up. This is the 1 hours. This is how they're trading. Okay, so this is where, let's see what time it was. Okay, so Friday we had that big move coming down. Okay, where did we close? Right here, Sunday. Here's Sunday market, like futures market open. We came down. We hit the low of the day at 11 p.m. Eastern. Since then we moved up. There's pre-London. There's London. There's 4 a.m. That's where we hit the high of the day. Since then, we're coming right back down. Okay, so maybe we'll consolidate here. Maybe we try for that high of the day and we break strong, or sellers will bring it down, down into here. Where's my hourly support? There's a body, and a wick. So right here, I draw a white line on the hourly. So it's representing above kind of 50% of this bullish candle. Right there, there's a body, a body, a body, a body. Volume closed above. Look at the retest. It's a white line. So 42,715 white line. If it comes down there, I might be looking to buy. They maybe are going to protect the low of the day and make a higher low at hourly support. Okay, if it does get down there, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just holds this and flips back up. Okay, so this is how we're moving right now on the hourly. If you look at the hourly trend, it's pushing up. It's still pushing up, but it's having a little difficulty breaking above here. But it could definitely break this with just a little bit of volume. No issues breaking that resistance. Okay, so this is how it is on the 5 minutes. So now we can see where we pushed up. Okay, just right below the high of the day. Okay, now they're pushing it down. We'll see, will they break? Will sellers close it below that daily point of interest, or are we going to come right back up? So if you look at just this trend, it's pushing down, bearish. Okay, you can see it's lower highs, pushing down. Maybe we will break above this, close above it, and then we'll push back up to that high of the day. Or it might just come up here and they reject it back down, and then we sell back down into here. If it starts selling down, you see this big bullish candle, okay? Just identifying where's half of it, 50%, right around there, okay? So if it does come back down bearish, we have to watch this red line before it gets down to the white one, okay? So that's how it's trading right now, okay? We'll put these two side by side. Okay, so we got US30 to the right. We got gold right over here to the left. And you see the green box is now still maintaining, holding. We're going to see if it will come up to the red zone. Will it come back? Maybe a double bottom. Maybe we look for a double bottom to break this trend line, to break that resistance. Trevor, how do I split the charts on TradingView for golden? You go up here to see where it says Sniper Ronny? Right beside it, see the layout setup? Click on that, and then there's a single chart like that. If you want two charts side by side like this, that's the one. If you want them to be horizontal, like here, you see here, I have the same two charts. There's gold on top, there's the US30 on the bottom. I kind of like it like this, you know, but some traders don't like it like that. This way you can see more to the left. When you do it this kind of layout, I can't see too much to the left. That's why I'm always looking like this. It's all personal preference too. Trev, you know, when I do 3 charts, I go like this. I've got 3, and then I can add another one in there. But it's all in here, under the, right here. Yeah, you got it. Okay, awesome. I personally like this style. Okay, you guys see how I have them? See how I can see like kind of this with gold and US30? I kind of like this layout personally, this one, but they're kind of, so I can see more to the left. See what I mean? I can see like US30 more to the left. I don't know. That's just me personally, but everyone is different. It's just hard when on like streaming this style. It's I've tried it before, and some traders said, Ron, it's hard to see it like this. I understand, but I'm just saying personally, that's the way how I like it when I'm trading. Welcome. Good morning, Ephraim. Okay, so it's 7 a.m. now, just after 7 a.m. What you could also do is you could go into the hourly candles and just click on the hourly candles and then see how the last hourly was moving. So gold, these are hourly bars now. So you can see it started from London, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., continue to push down. We had a bearish engulfing candle come down on US30 at 5, 6 holding, and we're coming right back up right now for 7, okay? So that's how it's looking right now. Let's see right now. You see US30, how it's breaking the trend line. So let's see if is it going to actually close above that trend line? Is it going to be a fake out? Are they going to bring it right back down? So this is an initial break. It's a start of an hourly candle, so make note of that as well. It is 7 a.m. and we've got 90 seconds to go on this bar. We still have gold now, just kind of consolidating right inside here. So we'll continue to wait it out. If you guys want, I can do NASDAQ as well. Maybe like at 7:30. We'll watch these two for 20-30 minutes. And then we'll add NASDAQ. Then we'll have 3 charts going into 8 a.m. and COMEX. Okay? And again, guys, have a plan. It's the start of the week. It's a Monday, pretty light day, Monday and Tuesday news-wise. Not much going on, no earnings, no big news. So it's the first, day since Friday's NFP. So hopefully you guys did some journaling over the weekend. Do you guys remember Friday's NFP? I was bearish. My bias was bearish on gold. As soon as we ended the call, the big storm came in. So I got stopped out. I got in a little too early. I was using a rather tight stop loss on Friday. If I opened it just a little bit, I would have been right into the money. But that's the way it goes. Sometimes you got to wait till 10 a.m. We ended that call right at 10 and boom, that's when the big move came. It was just a matter of time. So it was there. We had the right bias. It was just sometimes you got to give it a little room to breathe. So that's where you got to play with your stop loss and your lot sizing and things like that. But some of you guys messaged me after that and said, Ron, I still stayed with it and I got it. So I'm happy that that worked out for you. I got back in. As soon as I saw that candle close below with that momentum, after the call, I got in one quick move. It just took a while to develop. Okay, so that candle did close above the zone. Can we identify 50% of that bullish candle on US30? Yes, we can. It's right around there. Okay, so if we're retesting, if we come down bearish, are we going to retest 50%? Are we going to retest the trend line? Will we start to see maybe some momentum to the upside? Let's see. It opened bearish, ignited. Okay, so look at the way how the candle opened. It closed right at the high. Okay, so there's no wick, and then they just opened it, ignited, pushing it down. So you kind of got to go with it's low. It could pop right now and drive. Okay, so I'm going to go in a quick little scalp buy. I'm in a buy right now just because there's no wick above that bullish candle. It just retraced down. So all it has to do is just turn blue and move up. Okay, so if there's no manipulation here, we should get a clean move coming right up. How high could it go? Okay, so just looking at some structure to the left side. Right there, there's a little bearish gap from that wick to there. Maybe we'll trade inside there, okay, to that red line, 42,808. And if it can continue to push, maybe up to those bodies right there. So you see what I mean? How it could just go right into profit? That's what I mean. Those are those scalps with zero drawdown. If you know exactly what you're looking for, that had no wick. It already pulled back. All I had to do was just fill up with a little tiny bit of volume. Okay, I know it's not a lot. It's only 5 pips. That's not what we're here for. But that's just to illustrate when there's volume in the market. Right now, if that was Wall Street and that same pattern, that bullish candle right there wouldn't be 5 pips. That would be about 15 to 20 pips right now. And, we would have just sniped that entry. But there's just a lack of volume right now, okay? So if we get more volume and we reach this red line, it's 13 pips. Okay, and I'm not just guessing right there. It's right there. It's the kind of that coming up right up to that last retest and 50% of that bearish candle. Okay, So, and then if it kind of completes this move up here, it's about 20 pips, right up to that where those candles are. Okay, we're not too far from the high of the day. Okay. And then you see the stop loss. I still haven't even adjusted my stop loss. You could go, I'm tight stop loss, like right 50% right below there. You know, that's just those kind of trades where right there, right up to that red line. Look at it. Okay, so that's not bad. If this was Wall Street, holy shit, this would be a 30, 40, maybe a 50 pip candle by now. Okay, it's just the lack of volume. Now, one more minute to go. Where will it close? Will it close above this red line? Will it close below it? Will it get rejected all the way back down? Okay, but education-wise, that was a very easy scalp, in my opinion. It opened, was very bullish. It closed with no wick. Okay, so that was a clue. And then it just opened, came down, retraced a little bit. Remember, it was that bearish ignited head. They pulled it down, they grabbed some liquidity. As soon as the candle flipped, right there, I was in the buy. And it drove right up exactly to that red line. That's how I measure moves in Wall Street. And then I know exactly how much to take out. Now we've got 30 seconds to go. Let's see, will it manage a close above there? Well, if it closed with this type of volume, we still got to figure out where's 50% of it. So then we got to cut this volume. Gold is reaching that resistance, that daily point of interest, that yellow line right there. Let's see if it will close above, and it's still below that trend line. That was the first bottom so far, so it came right back up, right at that green zone. We'll see if it can come down. Here's the close. So we closed near the high, okay? Rather small wick. They opened it ignited. So if we do retest 50% of the body, there's 50% of the body. Hopefully we don't need to come all the way down to 50%. Maybe it can get a higher low wick right now and then just fill that previous wick and start to drive up to those 20 pips, okay? But again, we've got to watch and see what happens here, okay? So did you guys understand? Like, guys, this is also education too, okay? I know it was not a big move, but there was zero drawdown. And that's the kind of setup. That's the same kind of setup I'm looking for in Wall Street, because these candle bars are not just 15 pips. These are 30, 40, 50 pip moves. Okay? So understand what I meant by having no wick above and how it just took the buy, zero drawdown right into profit. Okay? So now we got a bearish candle that opened coming down. Let's see what type of reaction we get at 50%. Will it hold right here? Will we get a wick? Will it break a little lower? Will it come all the way down to where I entered the trade and retest this? Or will start to come into a little bit of drawdown, okay? So you can see it's a big bearish candle. It did not hold the 50%. Okay, so coming down, will it hold the entry point, like right here? Will this turn to an area of support right here? Okay, so it came right back down to where I entered. So those profit, those 13, 14, 15 pips are gone, okay? So I didn't do anything. Now it's right back to where I entered. It might also come down bearish and come for my stop loss down here, okay? And I'm aware that that could happen, but Trevor, you got 16 pips and out. Yeah, you were rather quick. You pipped and dipped out of there. I didn't. I'm still holding this. But did you guys understand what I meant by the buying opportunity there? Okay. I'm not asking whether you took out profit or not. I'm just asking if you understood why I took that buy there. Why did I not break even? It's just, I don't know. It's just a lack of volume in the market. And that's where my stop loss is, guys. Okay, I manually close my trades. Just so you know, I'll verbally tell you if I get stopped out here. It's a pretty tight stop loss, to tell you the truth. It's just right below 50% of that bearish candle. I'm still in it. Okay, so that's good rejection. One more minute to go. Will they bring it back up and close it above there? So it's going to determine if we're going to hold this supporting area over here too. And you can see, like someone just asked me, why didn't I go to break even? Why didn't I take out profit at 15 pips? Yeah, you're right. I should have. Maybe I should have. The way how the market is moving, there's no volume. Maybe that's all it's giving us is 10, 15 pip scalps right now. So yeah, until the market opens up. But I want to be honest with you guys. I didn't take out anything. I didn't go to a break even. I'm still live in this trade. It's right back where I entered. So I'm going to continue watching what happens until the candle closes. 30 seconds to go. See how close it was to taking me out so far? I placed my stop loss just below that 50%. So far I'm safe, but depending where this body closes, if it closes below, it might be another bearish candle coming down, filling that wick, and then that's enough to make a new low and then take me out of position. But it did close back above the green zone. So if we can hold again here and get some buyers, maybe we'll come back up, okay? So I'm right back in the trade. I'm at break even currently. You know, this is where you can think about a trade. You went in profit, it came back in drawdown, and you're right back at the beginning. Some traders, this is where they'll close the trade and refocus, rethink about it. I'm still bullish on this. I think it broke the trend line. It pushed up, didn't have enough volume. There's no volume in the daily candle. We just finished the analysis, but it came all the way back down. So it's kind of above the trend line, volume closed above. So I'm still bullish on this. Maybe it's going to kind of consolidate up here, and maybe we'll continue to drive and hit that high of the day, maybe break for a new high of the day. Okay. If they're going to do it, this is a good time to do it. New York, this is pre-New York. This would be a good time to try and attempt to break that high up there prior to going into Wall Street. Maybe set the tone for the day, but maybe it could, that's it. Maybe the tone is selling pressure today. Okay, so you see still retesting that red line, 50%, they rejected it. Now it's coming down. So this could be a move that comes down, you know. And then if I do get stopped out, doesn't mean it's going to be a bearish day. It's just consolidating here. I can open up my stop a little more and give it more room to breathe if I like. Like this is where you can do your own manual adjustments. If you think the stop is too tight, you can bring it below that body. Okay, that's a good injection of volume. Now we're barcoding. Bullish, bearish, bullish. We still have the volume above this green zone. That's important. Okay, but the most important thing is, where is it going to close? Is it going to close above this red line? And then we can continue to push. Okay, and then we can turn this 15 pips into maybe 20, 25, maybe 30. Okay, so gold is struggling here at this red zone, at that daily point of interest, yellow line, and still below the trend line. But if it kind of gets back above here, oh shit. Okay, so now we're getting some volatility in the market. China is speaking. What do we got going on? China Premier Li urges China to boost innovations in tech and industries. China's regulation of rare earth exports is legal. China rare earth controls don't. Oh, I thought it was Trump and China. It's just China. But a little bit of volatility. We can't control that when it comes in the market. Okay, so that was a beautiful bullish candle. Again, struggling at that red line. That red line is a significant line. It's the kind of 50% of that big bearish candle. Right in there that started this leg going down. So it's still there. This could come back down, close below here, and then come, take my stop loss, come a little further, and maybe it will go back up. But I'll wait for more volume to come into the market. Right now, this is low risk trade. I'm not going all in right now. Just testing out the markets. Just showing you I have a pretty tight stop loss. Nothing ridiculous here. My only mistake was, if you look at mistakes, it wasn't the entry. The entry was zero drawdown, went right to profit there. I didn't take out 15 pips. That was maybe one mistake. I didn't take out anything. My other mistake was maybe not going to a break even. Okay, but you got to kind of maybe allow a trade to develop a little bit. If I went to break even right away, I would have been stopped out. Maybe this is building and we'll get that move. Okay, so I know it's on light volume right now. We just finished the daily analysis, so there's no range right now. So I'm in a smaller trade, tight stop loss. I know I could very well get stopped out. But if it continues to build above here, we could get that push, and then we could get good volume trading, breaking the daily high, and then this could turn out to be a rather good trade. If we do get that volume coming in. Here we go, 20 seconds to go into the close. Again, if we can get it to close above there, that's what we want. But still, closing above this previous red line, that's still good. It's still closing above resistance, okay? So here's the close in 10 seconds. There's the close. So we did close above this red line. So this red line can turn into momentary support right now. We could get a wick right now, and then it could push back up and fill this wick and drive for a new higher high. Okay, so can it hold this red line? If it doesn't, then it's going to come all the way back down to the green box. And then you can see how it's barcoding. Bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. So we're kind of consolidating right in here. It sucks when price action does this, but you know, we can't change anything here. Okay, gold. Look at gold, guys. It's looking to break the trend line. If it can close above here, it could do something very similar like how US30 broke the trend line, maybe come back down and retest and start to drive. Okay, but let's see how it will close here. 4 more minutes to go. Okay, so it's retesting. Good. It's a hanging man candle. Can we flip? Yeah, we flipped it actually. Okay, that's good bar. That's a great bar. We held. Nice hammer. Can fill those wicks, and we could continue to drive. I'm looking to get up to here, the top of these bodies, where the top of that arrow is. That's about 20 pips up there. And then to the high of the day, from where we entered, the high of the day is right there, that purple line, 30 plus pips. Okay. But let's see, that's a beautiful retest candle. That it can't get any better than that for us. That was beautiful. Here we go. Now we're breaking out. So again, with this bar, can we break out for a new high above this and close a volume above this red line? Remember what I told you. This red line was very important. So it held. There we go. Now it's driving really nice. So you can go to a break even if you like now. Okay. Don't wait for me to tell you what to do. You guys do what you need to do. It's your own risk management. I manage my own risk. You manage your own risk, right? If you're happy right now with a few pips, take some profit. If you want to go to a break even, do your thing, okay? So we're up to this point right now. That's 20 pips. There's 23. Like if this was Wall Street, we would have 50 pips in the bag right now. Maybe even 70 with this type of volume, okay? Okay, now I'm going to a break even, okay? So now I'm going to a BE. It's up 25 pips now. So now it's time for a break even. So now no capital at risk, everyone. We got 25 pips in the bag. Let's see if it can tap into that daily high. Also, can it close above here? Let me just put a red line to show you what interest point I'm looking at right there. See that? Body, body. Now we're pushing above 90 seconds to go. Okay. We're not too far. That purple line is the high of the day right there. We're not too far away. Okay. Are we good, guys, on YouTube? Almost 200 viewers. Hit the like button. If you're at a break even, if you manage your risk, if you got some profit, fantastic. That trade, I'll recap it after we're all done. But it's just positioning the stop loss. It's just, that's all it is. You know, that was a relatively tight stop loss. And we still made out some good profit on it. Okay, so here's the close in 1 more minute. This could come all the way tumbling back down. You guys got to understand that. Could come all the way right back down to where we entered, and then it's a break even. So if that happens, still understand a break even is, it's all good. We didn't win, we didn't lose, but you still then, maybe then you learn what you got to do when you go up 25, 30 pips. Should be taking some partials. You don't have to take out 80, 20 like I do. You don't have to take out 80%. You can take out 50. You can take out 25%. You can do whatever floats your boat, whatever you feel comfortable, okay? I like the 80-20 rule. That's personally what I do. 80% out, 20% leave, break even running. Okay, here's the close. So we came all the way back up to there. Now the volume. Can we close above this red line? Okay, it's just moving line by line. See, look at that. Holy shit, look at that rejection. They closed it below that red line. Ugh, so that red line now is resistance. You see how disgusting that is? See how they do that shit? Like, that was a nice candle. We had the volume up there, and the last second they closed it right below that red line. And look how they opened the candle. Bearish, okay? That's what I mean, guys. You got to understand where these bars close and why they move like that. Watch. Now this red line should be the support. If it's not, it's going to come back down here, and then the trade is a break even. And then I'm going to go back and look at this and say, why didn't I take out any profit? You know, that's why I trade like a robot, guys, because I hate going through this shit every single day. I probably scalp more than anybody on this call here. And I know this every single day, what it feels like. That's why I try to hold trades as long as I can. But sometimes just trading to a plan and just doing what you got to do and not worrying about anything can help grow your account. I try to teach everyone here live, but I always say, learn from my mistakes. Learn from my mistakes. Okay? I'm losing, like, I'm giving away profit live. Not that I want to, but it's just learn from my mistakes. I'm getting greedy. It came right up to there, to that previous high. Maybe they're protecting the high of the day. I know I want more, and I want more, and I want more. But sometimes the market will not give you more and more and more. But if you didn't do anything, then all we can do is just continue to watch what's going on. So far it's got a higher low, still above that green box. Hasn't came to my break even yet. I'll let you guys know as soon as they tap me out. I'm still in this. But now it looks like maybe a BE very, very soon. Damn, I should have took out on that wick up there. And then now it's 7:30. Two and a half more minutes, it's 7:30. So sometimes maybe the momentum is going to shift now in the last 30 minutes. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can still stay in this and then get rewarded back above there, but you know, it doesn't matter. Even if I get rewarded and I still hang in there, it's still, I should have done something on that big bullish candle. Does it make sense, guys, or am I just talking to my computer here all by myself again? Do you guys understand what I mean by pipping and dipping sometimes and just trading with the same rules every single day, no matter what time? Like you see today, we're trading at a different time, a different security, but stick to the plan every single day. Sometimes like this, you might get lucky, like how I'm getting lucky right now. It came very close to hitting me on break even. It didn't. Okay, so I'm still live. I'm back in profit. Maybe this will turn out to be a very profitable trade. But I can't always bank on being lucky, right? Because sometimes the market will come down right down there and then you don't get lucky. And then you got to learn something from it. So once in a while, you'll get lucky and then the market will continue to go without hitting your break even. It happens. But majority of the time, you'll get hit at break even, okay? Pyotter, what's your computer name and IP? Okay, I'm going to be right on that. I'll give you everything. I'll give you my personal PIN numbers to my bank accounts and everything. No problem, sir. Believe it or not, there is people that are that stupid that do give that information away. I know you're just joking, but there is people that do give that stuff away. Yeah, everybody. Let's give out all of our personal banking information to just some strangers online. That's a good that's a good plan. Okay, so here's the close. See how it's struggling to close above that 50% of that bearish candle right there. Okay, see how that resistance is there? Okay, now we open bullish ignited. It's 7:30, a new 30-minute candle. Oh, gold as well, guys. Gold closed above this red zone. So if you can flip it green right now, okay? Because if it pulls back to that downtrend line that could be support and to that green box, and we could get a pullback and gold could start moving up through here, okay? So far, gold bounced off of here, didn't come down to the deeper demand area, so held, and now broke that trend line where it could continue to move right through here, okay? I just got to watch US30 because it's coming down, maybe gonna hit my break even. Got to watch this thing again, but you see how it's struggling at that red line right there. That's not just, I didn't just guess to place the red line there. You can see it's 50% of that candle. There's a wick and a wick. If I was to draw a red zone, I could find the exact bear gap and stretch it across into the future. And then you see now how we're holding the red line right here. It's acting as support. Higher low, higher low, higher low off the green block. Now can we push? We've got that big wick to fill, but can we close with volume above this red line and invert this zone and continue to push maybe to that daily high? And maybe we can grab some pips out of this thing. Well, I'm saying for me, maybe I could do something smart up there. Gold looks like it's ready to break out. Boogie, the pip and dip is saving your life. I know, it saved my life for years now, bro. I'm telling you. That's why I trade. Pip and dip. Get your pips, dip out of the market. Don't worry about what could have happened, what should have happened. Just get that money in your pocket and keep moving. That's what the way I look at the markets. I'm a scalper. So I just look to pip, dip, keep moving. Okay, I would love to turn these trades into 100 pip, 200 pip, intraday trades as much as I can. But sometimes as a scalper, you get your 20, 30, 40 pips, boom, in and out, in and out. Look for another one, in and out, in and out. Before you know it, you might have 50 pips, 100 pips for the day. You could be done in an hour of trading, you know what I mean? And do what you got to do for the rest of your day. Boogie, you're not ashamed to grab 20 pips and close. I'm not ashamed to grab 5 pips and close. When you're trading with standard lots, 5 pips is $50. 10 pips is $100. 20 pips, $200. If I was to hand you guys $50 cash, $100 cash every 10 minutes, are you guys going to say no to me? No. You'll grab that shit so fast and put it in your pocket. Are you kidding me? So why don't we use this same mindset when we're trading? Because this is unrealized money until we realize it. You know, it's just a game right now until you realize this money. In real life, if I handed you a $100 bill, you would grab it so fast, right? So that's the way I look at trading. If the market gives me $100, I grab that shit real quick. But here we go, okay? So we're back in the money. We're filling that wick. Okay, now, do we want to make that mistake again? Because this is where the market plays with you. It plays with you. Oh, it could get more. There we go. Okay, now we're at the high of the day up there. Now I'm not going to make the mistake. I'm going to take out 80% up there, 30 plus pips, because the Forex God saved me on my break even. So I just closed out 80% at the high of the day. I just secured 30 pips up there, 80%. Now I got 20% running. Now whatever happens, perfect. But I just secured 80% of 30 pips up there. Okay? You guys all good? Okay, that's what I did. You know, you guys do what you got to do, right? That's what I did. Okay? So it came from here to the high of the day. Now I don't know what could happen up there. There could be big sellers that push it back down. It could definitely break. Again, I don't want to play that game. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, this, that. Secure some money. That's why we trade. Right? Okay. Now, let me just go full chart on US30. If we do break, what's above this purple line? Purple line right here. Here's the last time we traded up here was Friday at 10 in the morning. Right there when we ended our call on Friday. Right after NFP. So look at, we could come right up to there. There's a body and body. I like the nice psychological number, 42,850. Yeah. Is there a zone? Yeah. Look at, there's a zone up there. There's a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick. If we get up here today, draw your zone. Look right around here. That's where I would draw a zone. Right there. Stretch it into the future. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Okay, so now we got some targets above us. If we can now close above the purple line, we use the purple line as support. Maybe we could drive all the way up to that red line, 42,850, and then there's the big supply zone. Above me, there's the big daily point of interest, 42,914. Okay, so that's all above us right now. But let's see if we can get some bullish volume closing above there. Now, is this a big bullish candle? Hell yeah, it is. Can we find where 50% of that big bullish candle is? Hell yeah, we can. Grab the Fibonacci tool right there. There's 0.5, okay? 0.5. While I'm doing this, you see that hammer candle that just pulled back to the 236? Okay, so we got a shallow pullback. There's nice bullish zone of that big bullish candle. So this is now, could be our demand zone supporting our move. Okay, once you've done that, get rid of all this shit and you're good to go. And now let's watch, okay? I know I got all these red cut lines, maybe too many cut lines, but they're all very significant. See how that red one held support? This was the resistance we closed above. Now that's 50% there. And you see this one used to be this area, body, body, body. Now it's turned into support, okay? So all of these lines at some point are very important. Gold is still holding, guys. Gold still holding. This zone right here. I'm watching just US30 right now. Sorry, guys. But because we do got a little bit of money invested in here. We got a runner running 35 pips. Excellent, guys. So how much did we risk? Well, how much did I risk on this trade? I entered right here. My stop was just a little bit below. So my risk was 12 pips on this trade. And now it's returned 36. So that's a 3-to-1 on your money. You risk $1, you make $3. You risk $10, you make $30. You risk 100, you make 300. You risk 1,000, you make 3,000. You risk 10,000, you make 30,000. You risk 100,000, you make 300,000. You risk 1 million, you make 3 million. I'll take that trade all day of the week if I get a 1 to 3 on my money. Normally scalpers are looking for 1-to-1s, but just sometimes they play out properly. Why did I like this trade setup? I'll tell you. Here was the yellow line. That's a daily point of interest. There was one bottom. There was a nice second bottom. We were in this trend coming down. We broke it at 7 a.m. That was that 7 a.m. break, hourly candle. I place more emphasis on the hourly candles. Why did we get this move? It's at 7:30. 30 minutes are higher time frame than 5 minutes. And then we got that nice close above. I told you why I bought this candle. It closed with no wick. And then it just opened, shallow pullback, and popped right there. I said that's a scalper's dream candle situation right there. I placed my stop loss just a little bit below 50%. That candle almost got me, but I stayed alive. And then again, it came back down. The guys were asking, Ron, why didn't you take out any pips up there? I didn't. So I'm not going to make an excuse. I did it. I didn't have time to. I didn't go to a break even either. Someone asked me, Ron, why didn't you go to break even? I don't know. I just allowed this thing to play out. And now it played out, okay? But total move so far is 43 pips again. So will the volume close above there? Will it not? So not bad, guys. Not bad, okay? And it's 7:40, okay? So we're about 40 minutes away from Comex. Gold is looking, yeah, it's looking, it just broke the trend line too. Stretch your zones into the future for gold. Okay, so these can come back later on and be support. But right now, what I would be targeting if I was in gold, getting back up to here. Here was support, resistance. So if it can get back up to 3,323, I would say, maybe test up there, okay? Okay, so now you see what I mean. The volume is really important. Is it going to close above the previous daily high, the purple line? Or is it going to close below it? You remember here where that one pushed out and I said, let's see if volume can close above that red line, and they brought it down. That's why we came down a couple more times. Same thing with this purple line. Will this purple line turn to be support now? Holy shit, Bitcoin's taken off too. Almost at 108,000. Okay, we got some news too. 738 right here. White House senior advisor Hassett. This guy's full of shit. Like, if you want someone who's full of shit, this guy Hassett is full of shit. He's like their top economist, and he fucking lies right through his teeth with this. He's got this smirk on his face, this smile that you just want to kind of, you know, but he's lying right through his teeth. Like, he's a top economist, and he's full of shit. Like, anyone with just basics of economics knows that this guy is just running his mouth, and he does it with this smirk on his face that you just want to kind of just backhand slap him if you could. But this guy is too much. But anyways, US-China meeting today to be short but bear results. He's saying U.S. side seeking handshake on rare earths agreement from China and London. U.S. expects export controls will be eased with rare earths will be released in volume. So that's what we got going on. Volume closed above the highest point, the purple line. Okay, so let's see now, you know, if our runner can continue to hold support here. If it doesn't, if it pulls all the way back down, we could get support in our green zone back here. So that's why I stretch all of these zones into the future, right? Okay, and then if it comes all the way up to that red line, we didn't just guess that red line up there. That red line is from over here, from 10 a.m. on Friday. So that would be about 55 pips up there, if we can get up there. Yeah, gold is moving. I'm waiting for a pullback on gold. You know, like, I know some of you guys are in gold a little earlier down in here. That's amazing. But for me to buy, do I want to buy right now at the highs? I want to wait patiently. Maybe I can get a pullback back here at 3317, back in this green box. Okay, I know that it's like me wanting to buy US30 right now. We bought in here. Okay, we might have to wait for a pullback right here, or even all the way back down in here. Okay, sometimes you just got to be patient, guys. Sometimes trades are going to move away from you. That doesn't mean you got to just chase it and start buying the highs. Try that, backtest that, and let me know how it goes for a week or for a month. Let me know if you're consistently profitable by just buying the highs or selling the lows all the time. Okay, so you got to learn how to stop that. You got to understand, if a trade is gone, it's gone. Okay, the worst thing you can do is chase it. Anytime you chase, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Sometimes it might work, but you're teaching yourself bad habits. Then you're going to get excited and think that always works, and it doesn't. The best philosophy of trading is to be as patient as you can, and then just wait for the trade to come back and test here. I guarantee you there's a shit ton of buyers that are waiting in here to buy. They're all pending, okay? You're not the only one. So you can buy with more volume, and it maybe does that, okay? I would rather take that trade as opposed to just buying the high. And even if I buy there and it comes down a little lower and hits my stop loss, then it's still psychologically, I still waited for that. And sometimes if it doesn't work, I'm okay with that. But I'm not always okay buying the highs. And then if I get stopped out, then I'm like, what the hell was I just doing? Why did I just wait for a pullback? You know? Mandela, your problem is discipline. I know every trader here's problem is discipline. But at some point, you've got to learn discipline. If you want to do this every single day, you've got to have some sort of discipline. You have to. Okay? And then just understand, if a trade goes, like right here, we could have bought the high up there. Like, look at now how it came all the way down into the green box. If you were wanting to buy US30 all the way up here, you're getting an opportunity now buying it in a possible fair value demand zone, and you're getting it on a discount. Look from that high wick to where it is now. You're getting a 25 pip discount right now to buy. Okay? So that's the way I look at trading. That's why you don't always want to buy highs. You either want to wait here or back down in here. Okay, so now we're testing. Again, you know when I drew that box of that big bullish candle at 730? Okay, now we're coming back in, retesting this. Okay. And then same with gold. Will it come all the way back down and retest in here? Okay, so you see how we closed in it again? We might find some buyers and then start that next leg up. But if they close it below here, it could come all the way right back down to where we entered. And that's why I'm happy that at least I took out 80% when it started moving. I wouldn't be okay if I had the whole trade running and then it came all the way back down and then hit my break even. Remember, we talked about it earlier. We don't want to make that mistake again. Andreas, don't chase waterfalls. Which mentor said that, you know? I don't know. When you say the waterfalls, all I'm thinking of who was that song by? Was it TLC? Don't go chasing waterfalls. Sorry guys. That's my singing voice early in the morning. Anyone know that song back in the day? Come on. You guys gotta know that. Omar, you do? Was it TLC? Yeah, TLC. The mentor, I don't know. You tell me who the mentor is. We're talking about the TLC back in the day. Yeah, it's showing our age over here. I don't know. I don't know everything what every mentor says. I don't know. I got a lot of shit going on in my life. I can't be listening to all the mentors, what they say. But I listen to music. Emmanuel, don't give up my day job. I could sing. Don't worry. When it's soundproof in here, when I get the soundproof, you're going to see. I'll be doing karaoke with you guys in here. I know my family doesn't want to hear it, but... Okay, yes. Thank you for reminding me. We got to do NASDAQ, guys, because it's almost 8 a.m. So let's add NASDAQ. So we got gold on here. Gold is making a little bit of a break. US30, we got some good pips out of Miss Jones. I've got a break-even runner running 20%. Hopefully it will continue to run. However, if it does come and tap me out there, it's all good. I'm happy. I got a 80%. I'm good, right? So hopefully we should be good. That's the way how to utilize break-evens with psychology in the markets. And that's the way to do it, guys. If you're scalping or doing some quick intraday trading. I understand some of you guys are more holding for longer term. That's all good. But you guys would have a much larger stop loss than I use, okay? So let's do nasty. Let's do the NASDAQ right now. and see what it is doing. Okay, so we're gonna have 3 charts. It's gonna get busy now, guys, because we also have financial juice right over here. So we have got gold on the left, we have Dow over here in the middle, still in a live trade. I just want you guys to understand, 20% is running. I already have a hard stop in it, so I'm gonna move off the charts, and we're gonna do NASDAQ. Okay, we'll get this one done right before 8 a.m. and then we'll watch everything as we move into COMEX. And then, guys, just heads up, I got to be done at 9 a.m. today. I won't be with you guys to go into Wall Street because I got a buddy of mine coming to help me with the renovations down here. So he's going to be here at 9 and we got to get started. Okay. And then I'll show you guys the scheduling for this week as well. Okay, so we got NASDAQ. Let's do NASDAQ. Dramada, welcome. When do we have our live trading sessions? Okay, let me just go over that real quick. Just our live trading sessions. If you come to our website, Stock Sniper Trading, we updated this. I updated this late last night because I had my tower getting fixed. I didn't get it till late yesterday evening. But this week it's a little bit of change in hours. So you see, due to my renovations that I got to do, I won't be able to do a lot of Wall Street sessions. But today was 6 in the morning till 9. So we're going to do the same hours on Friday. So join us on Friday, 6 a.m. to 9. London sessions, guys. If you want to join me in London, we're going to do London Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 2 a.m. Eastern, pre-London, till 5 a.m. Maybe we'll go a little longer, but that's scheduled. We're scheduled for 3 hours on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you trade live London, join us. We'll look at gold. We'll look at DAX. That's the German exchange. And we'll also look at GBP USD if you guys want. We'll look at some currency. We'll look at the pound or the euro in the European session. Okay. And then Dave is doing his 8 to 10 with the Zoom Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right. So that's the schedule this week. Tentative. Again, if anything changes, I'll let you guys know. Okay. So let's do NASDAQ. And we're going to start a little bit of an analysis here. Okay. On the daily. So let's go to the daily. Okay, so what we did with US30, you saw that it was, we were approaching double top all-time high. NASDAQ also has a double top all-time high supply, but we're closer on NASDAQ, you know, to breaking this all-time high. Maybe it might happen this week. Maybe it might happen. Next week is the FOMC, so we got to really watch this. Okay, so that was the first all-time high up there. End of December, that was the second all-time high, early February this year. Do we have an area of support below us? Yes. When we came in here, lots of good support. A lot of wicks, bullish rejection wicks, driving out of this zone right here. So you can see when you stretch in the future, we close below. That's where we push down. If I stretch that into the future, that body that closed above, you can see May 23, just a few weeks ago, we came in there and we went right back up. So stretch it into the future. Now, I can sit there and analyze all this too, but it's a waste. It's like waste of time for us today because we're all the way up here. I don't think NASDAQ is going to drop all the way down here. So this is for you if you want more zones, like right here, real quickly. That was a nice pivot zone right there. Again, stretch that into the future and just do that. Points of interest now. Now we got to get some points of interest in between this red and this green zone. Is there points of interest? Is there pivots that we can physically see? Yeah, right here. This is where the market came all the way up and you see it stopped right here. That is a pivot, okay? The market just stopped right there. So I identify pivots or points of interest with this yellow daily line. So I can see it came up there and then it went all the way back down to the green box. Came all the way back up. There was, just like on the 5-minute candles that we just watched Dow, even daily candles, they do impulse moves and then they get rejected all the way back down. Okay, that was a big swing on the day, just like we saw in the 5 minutes. And then when we push back down, you see where it traded that into 50% of that bullish candle. So the same shit that we do on the 5-minute candles, 1-minute candles, you can do the exact same on the daily. Okay, that's the beauty of trading. All candlesticks have the same characteristics. You just pick the time frame that's best for you. If you want to slow the market down, slow it down to the daily as much as you want and hold the trade for a couple days. Swing trade. Learn how to do that. I like the fast and furious action. for kind of forex trading. I have a lot of swing positions, intraday holds, investments that I do in the stock market, like holding good sound securities like Apple and things like that. But forex, I'm in and out of the market. Okay, but when we look, are we trending? Are we moving anywhere? Is there a trend? It's got a nice steep trend line. We're pushing up, but now we've got some resistance here. Okay, so let's now go off of Friday's big body candle. Friday was a bullish engulfing bar. Can we identify where 50% of Friday's candle is? Yes, there it is. 21,625. Yellow line right there, right in the middle. Can we make a green zone from Friday's daily candle? There it is. A little bit above, a little bit below. Bada boom, bada bing. Right? There it is. Okay. So once we've now figure what's going on, look at NASDAQ's tiny doji candle. It's the same thing when we did US30. Remember US30 had that tiny doji candle and we got in that buy and it kind of just broke above the daily high? Maybe NASDAQ will do the same thing. This is what we're working with. Remember what we said? US30 was skinny, needed to eat something, needed to eat some volume, and finally it found some. Same with NASDAQ. Look how skinny it is. It looks like it's hungry, like it's got to eat something. We need to feed this thing some pancakes. Okay, so we're above 50%. Now let's watch. Let's go with, where did we close on Friday? Where did we open? Right there. That's our point of interest. That's where we closed on Friday. That's where we opened today. When we opened, it was initially bearish. We came down. We made our low of the day right there. Purple line low of the day. Is it above 50% volume from Friday? Yes, it is. So we're still good. If I need another point of interest, if the sellers break this and come all the way down, right there, those two bodies, that would be a yellow line, okay? Maybe we don't come down here today, but that would be a point of interest. Now, we came down, we made our low of the day, higher low, and they're pushing it all the way right back to where we opened, and we flipped for a high up there. That's a high of the day. Today's daily candle right now currently looks like a bullish pin bar. Do we have enough volume to fill up to Friday's high? That's a point of interest. If I'm scalping from the purple line, which is 21,800 up to there, 40 pips. Okay, so that's what we got to know as scalpers. Maybe we fill up Friday's high, we take a buy from this purple line, it fills to that yellow, we grab ourselves 40 pips. If it goes a little higher, we drive up to Thursday's high. It's 900 right there. So from 840 to 900, that's another additional 60 pip zone right there. I can continue to do this by looking above the yellow line now and going up here. Okay, see where the red box is? But there's a wick and a wick and a wick right here. So there's some sort of resistance and support right around here. There's another yellow line. And then we get to our red box. If we drive into the red box right there, there's a body to body. So we're not guessing where it's going to go. You're looking exactly where it's going to go. If it comes back up, there's a body, 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 a body. Right in there. Like, see all the points of interest that we can have? Okay. And this is what we got going on. So if you ask me, it's looking real bullish. Okay, it's coming all the way from down here, made that higher high, nice pullback in there. We're making new higher highs. We're not too far away from the all-time high supply up there. Maybe we might have some good news. Remember, coming from NFP, good job numbers. If there's a good truce or a trade agreement with US and China, that would be positive for the markets. We could definitely drive up here, okay? So looks like a nice daily bullish pin bar. Let's go into the 1 hour. Let's start to see when everything started to move, okay? So here was Thursday, big push down. We came into Friday right there. There was NFP, big move. And then we kind of came back down, consolidating. Look how dry the volume was last night in the kind of moving into London in the Tokyo Asian session. There's 10 p.m. my time, 11. There's midnight, 1 a.m. Pre-London, 2 a.m. There's London. We pulled back, still holding. Is there hourly points of interest? Yes, there is. Right here. Look at here. This, where we just started with like this candle. Right around here, there's good hourly support. White line, holding. We have a beautiful bullish ignited bar starting this 1 hour. But look how many wicks it has to fill. Wick, 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 and right up to there. It could definitely get up there. So we have this really nice bullish hourly candle. Let's go into the 5 minutes. This is what we got going on. It's from here, from the low of the day right there at 22:30, 10:30 p.m. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And we're making higher highs. Right now, look at where we're consolidating. Right at the high of the day. We've tried 2 times to break and unsuccessful. So now the volume is consolidating right in here. If we can continue to consolidate and buyers continue to buy this accumulation, we could definitely break out of here. If the sellers close it below here, it might come all the way back down and test 21,750, the white line hourly support. If it can't hold, then there's a 5-minute point of interest right here. Look how easy this is, guys. Right here, this was resistance, resistance, resistance. That body that closed above turned it to support, support. So if it breaks this and comes down, this red line is support. And look at the psychological number, 21,725. So quarter increment moves, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. This is a live auction. It's just like if we were at an auction, okay? So that's what we got going on right now with NASDAQ. We're going to leave NASDAQ. Okay, so you see now the charts are pretty busy, okay? So gold broke and then came all the way down, okay? Now 750. We're starting to get some volatility now. We're getting into 8 a.m. We're getting close to COMEX. So you can now start to see that the markets are starting to move with rather bigger volume. We're not trading these little tiny candles anymore. Now they're getting filled. They're bigger candles. So what that's telling me is volatility is increasing now. Maybe some news was released. We're moving into 8 a.m. We're getting close to Wall Street. So the markets are moving. You can see gold, US30, the runner I'm in, it came down, closed again. Look at where it's closing in that green zone. You see how I haven't changed that zone? The zone is always going to be a zone. It broke, the volume was inside, we came up bullish and we pushed right back up and then they brought it right back down. So you see how we're consolidating in the green box here. Maybe we're going to continue to drive, okay? So the runner is still in there. With gold, you see how it came all the way down? It's still holding structure from this green zone. It came all the way back up. It's closing right here at the green box. We could see maybe the next leg coming right back up. But right now, it's 8 a.m. We have a new hourly candle in the market. Okay, you see US30 and NASDAQ are in this bull flag. Could continue to break out bullish. If you want to wait for confirmation, we maybe got to wait for a bar to close above. Okay, guys, are we all good with everything, that analysis? Thank you, guys. Over 200 viewers on YouTube. If you guys can hit the like button, we do appreciate it. We've done 3 charts here now. We're getting ready for commodities exchange in less than 20 minutes. And we're still got a runner holding on US30 here. Do you guys like this time? This time of the day? 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m.? Do you guys normally trade this time? And don't forget to join us tomorrow for live London. We haven't done it in a long time. 2 a.m. Eastern, I'm gonna get started. Okay, so we're gonna do a little pre-London analysis. We can look at securities that trade in London, in Europe. Specifically, when we look at indices, maybe we'll take a look at DAX. That's the German exchange, German 30, German 40, DAX, due to Frankfurt and the German exchange. We can obviously we'll take a look at gold. We could also throw a currency pair in there. We can look at Euro USD. We can look at GBP USD. We can also see how the European currencies are moving at that time as well. Lots of coffee, Samuel. Yep. I'll probably won't even sleep. I normally go to sleep at midnight. So if I know that we got to be doing a session at 2 in the morning, I probably won't even sleep. I'll sleep after like 5 a.m. till about 8:30, and I got to start the renovations. But we'll see how everything goes. I'm used to it. I used to do London quite a bit. Talavas, are you a teacher or something because the way you explain is too good? I'm not a teacher. I'm just someone who trades and likes to explain something, but I don't have a license in teaching. I'm not a professor or anything like that. Good morning, Lady Stone. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Okay, guys. So we're 15 minutes away from COMEX. I know a lot of you guys trade gold. So that will definitely affect gold because it's the commodities exchange, not just gold. You got silver. You have a lot of metals that trade at that time. That's the exchange for gold, okay? Wall Street is for S&P, for NASDAQ, for Dow Jones. That's at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, okay? And normally we have some 8:30 news in the markets. Today we have nothing, okay? Today and tomorrow are really light. We went over the week's news. Also, guys, there is some European banks that are closed today. Swiss banks are closed, French banks are closed, German banks are closed all day today. We've got no news today, nothing that I can see. The only news we'll have is if Donald Trump starts opening his mouth, which I can probably guarantee he's going to do. So he'll be running his mouth today. That's why we've got financial juice right over here on the side of us to make sure if Trump says something, we got to know what he's saying because the markets will move rather volatile when he speaks. Okay, so you see here how we're still, it's pushing down, but look at the wicks. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. The volume is still respecting our green zone in here. Where did I get this green zone from? I didn't just guess where this zone was. Again, remember, 50% of that big bullish candle at 7:30. Okay, so it's still holding. We've got NASDAQ still consolidating in here, but it's got a lower high, and those tweezer top highs at the daily purple high. So sellers are slowly bringing it down, but we're still holding above 50% of the 7:30 candle as well over here on NASDAQ. Okay, and if you guys have any questions, let me know if you guys have any questions while we're waiting for something. If there's anything that I explained that you're not sure about, again, don't be shy. Ask me, and I can repeat it, and I can make sure everybody understands what I'm talking about, okay? I don't want anyone to be left behind. I want everyone to understand what's going on. And we're watching 3 different securities. So this is where it gets real busy. But again, just focus on the security you're trading. This is gold over here to the left. This is Dow Jones, US30, YM in the middle. And this is NASDAQ, NAS100 or NQ over here to the right, okay? Anybody watch the UFC on the weekend? Sugar O'Malley against Gervali. Anybody? Or am I the only one here that watches UFC? I know there's a couple of snipers in the group that watch UFC. Okay, so look at gold now, okay? So see, again, it came back. it's below here. So this zone now, if we close below here, we're going to make this green box, we're going to make it red. Now we're testing back down here. But remember, these were kind of just, this was the inside zone that momentarily held that pullback that when we started the call down in there. But the bigger zone is down in here. So we'll see if this zone can continue to hold. If not, if it breaks, we could be buying down in here. 3,308, 309 in here, maybe 310 if it comes down there. Again, you're going to get an influx of volume coming up soon because we're 10 minutes away from COMEX open. Okay, and remember guys, I got 20% running on a break even, so I'll see if I get tapped out at break even, and then I'll get rid of this, and then we gotta look for another trade. Amrit Murab beat the crap out of him. Yeah, he was kind of toying with him a little bit. Yeah, Murab he's crazy. His conditioning is unreal. I don't think I've ever met a human being as conditioned as that guy. He can go and go and go without ever getting tired. Yeah, Nick, Murab ragdolled him. I agree, man. Yeah, his cardio, Amrit, is unbelievable. Okay, and if US30 on this bar closes below this green zone, let me get rid of all these red lines. Let me clean up now because we're going to start to enter into more volume coming up soon. So let me just get rid of these red lines, clean up the chart. So you see how we close below the green zone now. So same thing, what I do is I change the green to red. Now this could be acting as a resistance, okay, for buyers. If buyers want to come in, sellers could sell it all the way back down, okay? So we want to keep bullish volume above this so we can continue to move higher. With the volume closing below, sellers could control it and bring it all the way back down into here. Same with here on gold. You see how we're below this zone now? Now it's no longer green. We got to make it red now. Going into COMEX, this could be our resistance. We got support below us. NASDAQ is still consolidating. See here how it closed? It came back, higher low, we're coming right back up. If this volume closes back above here, it could use support. I could look to take a continuation buy. I'm still in my runner, but I could still enter into another trade if I see what I like. my runner is still live, so I could enter into another buy. If this bar can close above, respect this area, maybe I got to retest, then I get another trade coming back up. And it is 8 minutes away from COMEX market open right here. So when we look at the overall trend, remember this large trend line that we put at the beginning of the call? So we can see we kind of broke out of it momentarily, but it came right back in, and we're trading again in that trend. We're in that symmetrical, we're in that descending triangle pushing down. So the volume is still in here. Will it break out again? Or will the sellers bring it back and then we could sell gold down into here, right? So that's what we got to watch for. And then just looking in the pre-market right now, I'm going to just look in the pre-market. AMD is up 1.5% right now. Micron up 1%. Uranium, Amrit, my man, look at UEC up 6% right now at $6.63. Uranium, nuclear energy. It's a good to look at, guys. But add it on your watch list. I'm watching that. Got a few shares in that. Security. What else we got going on? Nvidia's up plus 0.7% right now. Amazon 0.5%. Apple 0.5%. Tesla's down negative 1.5%.
after the big gain on Friday. Well, not a big gain, but a good recovery. And GameStop up 1.4%. They got earnings this week, what we talked about. So that's what's going on in the pre-market. Still early. Okay, so gold, again, it's just consolidating in here. Will we get that next big bullish break above here, or will we get that next leg coming down? See here how it came above, closed back below. Look at this. Big, it was moving up nicely, but look at, they rejected it, shooting star candle coming down. Okay, so this could come and take me out on my break even. And then if it does, I just regroup. I'll get rid of this and we continue going. So we're 5 minutes away from COMEX, and let's watch what's happening here. NASDAQ could close below here and maybe get its leg coming down, back down. And then guys, if there's any news, you got the news right over here. If you guys look at the news too, hopefully you guys can read it. But it's news from Financial Juice as it's being dropped down right away. So there was some news at 8 a.m. here. But we'll see if there's any news regarding North American securities. So again, guys, what I was talking about, I was going to look for a buy. If that body closed above there, I was going to look to buy. But you see how it came up, got rejected, came all the way back, closed bearish below there. So therefore, no buys. Just going to watch my runner to see if they tap it out here. And then I'm going to get rid of this and we're going to start fresh again, watching how we move into 8:20 and then more importantly 8:30. Carlos, welcome. Hope you had a great weekend, brother. Welcome back. Anybody eyeing anything? Anybody have a good setup maybe for gold, bullish or bearish? What are you guys looking for on gold? Looking for a buy on NASDAQ? Okay, guys. I just got tapped out from the US30 at that 20% break-even runner. Okay, right there I got tapped out. So I'm happy. I took out 80%. My runner, I tried to let it run. The market came down and tapped me out right there. Okay, so that trade is done with US30. Congratulations to those that grabbed a few pips out of it. And congrats to those that learned a little bit about it as well. And now we got to refocus, reshift, and watch. I'm going to be watching gold in 3 minutes because we do have the COMEX market open. So I'll be watching gold, okay? Oh, Carlos, you're going to be in Miami this weekend. Nice. Catch a ticket and let's meet. I would love to, but I got to catch a ticket renovating this basement. That's going to be my ticket this week. You're welcome. Come over here, Carlos, and help me out build if you want. Borex, you're looking for a gold buy at 3312. Okay, right here in the green zone. Yep. I want to see if I can get a deeper one in here, Borex, like 3310, 3309, but I don't know if it's going to come in here. So far, yeah, 3312 is holding. Good support. 2 minutes away, ladies and gentlemen, from COMEX market open. We're going to see a little bit more volume coming in on gold. Omar, don't come to Miami, it sucks. Are you just kidding? we gotta make a lot of pips, Omar, to come to Miami. It's like $100 for a bottle of water in Miami. I'm fine where I am over here. I'm fine over here. I used to go to Miami when I was younger. Now I'm okay over here. I'm an old man now. It's freaking hot, yeah. It's nice weather. It's beautiful weather. I do love warm weather. Okay, guys, so let's get ready. 60 seconds to go into COMEX. You see, Dow came right back down to our green zone, coming right back up. So again, if it closes above here, we could get nice bullish moves. Same with NASDAQ. NASDAQ, very similar. Broke, coming back in. We're not too far from the high of the day. That kind of right here for NASDAQ, the high of the day is right there, 21,800. Could break. We could still see some bullish momentum. Gold here is in 30 seconds. So we're kind of consolidating in this zone right in here. Again, let's see if it will come back up. If we can get something, maybe it will break. It will take out these lows. Good opportunity to maybe look for buys are in here. 3308, 3309, 3310. If it does come down in there. But just, again, use proper risk management if we're going to take any trades, please. And just trade smart. We've already had one successful trade. Let's see if we can look for another good one. Okay, so open ignited bearish right into the green zone. It got an initial wick right away. Will it come back up? Remember, if it comes up, it's got to test 50% of that bearish candle right now where it is. Okay, so can it continue push? We're still in this descending triangle from that trend line that we drew from the start of the call. It's still in that bearish triangle. So we still have to acknowledge that. Okay, the buyer's got to maybe close it back above here around 3316 or even like above here. Then we could get that nice bullish move breaking out of there. Okay. So it's a nice strong open right away. That's the first 40 seconds, first 1 minute so far. And just watch also US30, guys. If you're watching US30 and NASDAQ, still building good, strong momentum. So we re-tapped that box. That's where I had my break even on the runner. I got tapped out, but now it's still driving. Okay, so if it closes above here, it could be a nice move to the upside for both US30 and NASDAQ. Gold is coming right back up. Okay, we got some trade talks between US and Chinese delegation have started in London. Okay, so keep that in mind for all day trading today, guys. Okay, this is really important. Whether you're trading or not, this could affect how markets move this week. So trade talks between US and Chinese delegation have started in London. So this is where we should maybe see both of these nations come together in the UK and come to some sort of agreement on the tariffs and trade negotiations, and then markets might get stabilized again and could be really bullish for the US stock markets. Okay, so that's going to be on watch all week this week. Okay. So it did come up right up to the trend line and they've rejected the move back down. This is half the candle now. So you see 2 minutes and 30 seconds are left. So the first half was bullish. They brought it down. Let's see where it will close in the next 2.5 minutes. So nice maybe this is going to be bullish for the US indices over here, okay? Anything about positive trade talks, negotiations, that's good for the markets, okay? And US30 is really enjoying that news right now. Nice bullish ignited candle. Let's see if it can close above here. Again, I haven't changed that zone. The zone is still there, but I just go with the volume. If this blue volume, bullish volume closes above, I'll make this zone green. Maybe catch maybe a pullback, retest. Maybe we're driving for new highs today. Okay, if you want to kind of adjust the lines, this purple line, that used to be the high of the day. That's the new high of the day up there. I just leave it, again, because we might revisit it. I can move the high of the day up to there, but I'm just going to keep it where it was, okay? Gold now, coming right back up. Kind of barcoding, bearish. It was bullish, it was bearish, coming back up bullish. Still in this little consolidated range. I can let this thing continue to build. I don't think gold is going to trade in here all day today. It's accumulating to either break above 3317 and drive back up here, or it's going to break down and start trading below here, okay? So just waiting on it. 30 more seconds to go on gold. Nice bullish candle moving on US30. NASDAQ is following behind. Same kind of move. That push down, came up, bullish. I just like the volume in US30 when I'm scalping. That's just me personally. But here we go. Here's the close on gold. Okay, nice bullish close maybe. Maybe engulf that previous bearish bar. Okay, it didn't technically engulf, but it did close above 50%. So we got another bullish candle that could drive above here. Again, this is where you ask yourself, do you want to take the buy right now? If you do, you're still trading in this zone right here. And you're also, if you take the buy now, you're also taking the buy before 8:30, okay? And then you got a new 30-minute candle. Since it's inside here, I'm going to continue to wait it out, like right here. This entire zone, all I see is both sides are accumulating in here. Kind of still don't have a direction yet. So there's sellers in there, there's buyers in there, there's sellers in there, there's buyers in there, there's sellers, buyers, all in here. So that's where it's kind of accumulating. I want to see something above here, or I want to see something below here. Okay, so US30 closed right at the zone, so we can give it the benefit of the doubt. We can change it red to green. Okay, so it's kind of retesting it. Will it get its next move coming through here? Maybe we could look for maybe a continuation buy to continue to drive for some new highs. Or we just kind of wait it out, like I said, till 8:30. And then we wait for our new 30-minute candle to come in the next 3.5 minutes. I'm going to wait it out because 8:30 is also a very important time in the market. Normally we have 8:30 red folder US news at that time. Today we do not, but it's still an important 30 candle open. You guys remember on Friday, I was looking for, my bias was bearish on gold. I got stopped out, but then right after the call, 10, right when we ended the call, gold broke down and it was bearish for that day. So sometimes it's just the timing. Sometimes that's all it is. You might have the correct bias, but sometimes it's just the timing. Sometimes it just takes an extra 5 minutes. That's what sucks what happens when you're trading, but it happens. Okay, so we're 2 minutes away from the close. We got a nice bullish move coming back up. Let's see if gold can close above this daily point of interest yellow line around 3318, 3317. Can we get that good closure above there? Okay, and also US30 is continuously building in this green zone. Still kind of sideways in here. Gonna wait it out till 8:30, see if anything develops. But gold is building. Okay, so it came down. Just a recap, 8:15. There's COMEX market open. It came down, closed, coming all the way back up. Now will it close above there? Starting at 8:30. Good bullish momentum and closing above a daily point of interest. We could continue to head higher on gold. There could be a pullback that comes back into 50% of this bullish candle. I'll use my cut line to identify where 50% is as soon as this bar closes. Okay, and you see the fake out of US30 up here? That's why I was saying wait it out till maybe 8:30. Because if you bought prematurely, this is what they could do, bring it down. So it's still kind of in this tight range. Waiting out, I'm waiting on the indices, but gold is developing nicely here. Okay, so remember what we're going to do. If it does close like this above, we're going to flip this red zone green. We might get an initial retest and it could continue to move. It might close right at the high. It might be a bullish ignited candle breaking. It might also get rejected and close back inside here. Okay, so here's 10 seconds going into the close. And I'm going to assume 50% is like right there. Okay, so there's the close. It did close above, red to green. Okay, it's an ignited open with a short wick, so it just kind of popped. But look at how it came back down to possibly retest. Okay, so let's see if it can retest the green zone or kind of 50% down in here. It might just hang out like a doji right here and ready to go, okay, without even kind of retesting. Okay, so let's get ready for this. Yeah, we got a SST long on gold. Thank you, Armandi. 3320. Okay, so 3320 is right there, not too far off where we are. So we got a buy signal up there as well. Let's just see if it can retest this. Maybe we can get in a little earlier. Okay, so it's still that doji candle hanging out right here. Hanging out. And let's see if we can continue to move. Okay, I'm going to go into a buy. I like how it's just a doji candle hanging out. Didn't really retest. So we also have a 3320 buy signal for SST. Hopefully maybe we can buy into it and then continue with that momentum. I'm in a buy. Stop loss. I'm going to give it room to breathe now, okay, because we got more volume. So I'm putting it below the green zone down in here. My stop loss, I'm giving it more of a stop loss because I'm looking for a bigger move. I'm looking for it to come up to the high of the day. We got a nice double bottom coming out of COMEX. Got some good volume closed above. So naturally just looking for that. And we got a 320 buy signal. So I want to let it play out. Okay, so you see guys, now this one, I gave it more room to breathe, bigger stop loss. I was really tight with US30, but this one's a little bit more larger because we got bigger volume now in the markets and we got commodities exchange open. Okay, so just to reiterate, I'm in a buy on gold, bought in right here. It's in a little bit of profit, but that's not necessarily what we're looking for. We're looking for a bigger move. But right there, guys, is 17 pips. Remember, there's bigger volume. Trading up to those bodies is 25 pips right up here. Okay, so you know, like if you're just a single bar scalper and you like zero drawdown and grab 15, 20 pips, okay, you do your thing. But that would be red line, 25 pips. Next red line would be about almost 50 up there, guys. That's when definitely we'd be managing our risk, okay? That's where we got a SST buy signal right at this 320 marker. Okay. Do we understand the the buy, okay? We closed above. I gave it time to retest, low wick, and then the pop and fill, okay? So let's now wait for this thing to close. Where will it close? It might come all the way back down. Might close. If we can close above here, oh man, we could get a nice 2-bar runner. Okay, let's see where we can move with this. Excellent. Okay, so that is a fill from right here to that red line, 25 pip fill. Some of you guys, that's all you're looking for. Fantastic. Do your thing. That's 25 pips with zero drawdown. Zero drawdown, 25 pips. Again, I'm calling all my scalpers. If you guys are scalpers, like you would appreciate a bar like this. I love that. Okay, sometimes that's it. Sometimes I pip and dip out of that bar, guys. I'm telling you, that's $300 US right there with a standard lot. Like, are you kidding me? If I handed you $300 on the street, you're gonna tell me, Ron, that no, I don't want it. Come on, think smart, guys. This is like real money. Okay, so don't be silly at times. Okay. Okay, so now, are we going to close above this red line? Are we going to close below it? Are they going to push it down? Are we going to figure out where 50% of this volume is in case we pull back? All of this, okay? It's the same thing, same shit, over and over and over, same routine, okay? So here's the close in 20 seconds. If we close above here, this red line was resistance there. It might turn to quick support for a shallow pullback, real quick. If we close right at the high, we might get a bullish ignited candle. Guys, that's 35 pips right there. Up to there's close to 50 pips. You know, don't be doing anything silly here. Okay, here's the close. Okay. Remember, the red line could be support line. It could come all the way down and retest this. Hopefully it doesn't. Maybe we get a small doji breaking that wick and we're driving. And that's when I'm going to a break even. If it comes up to this red line, I'm going to a break even and it could be up 50 pips. I'm not playing games. This is Monday morning. I got to buy drywall. Like, this is paying for my drywall, my soundproof insulation, my ventilator, all of that. Okay. Okay. I'm going to a break even now. It's up 40 pips. It calls for a break even. Reducing our risk is number one, risk management. Okay. So I'm at a break even on this trade. Okay. I gave it room to breathe just in case it needed to come down there. It didn't need to. It moved up 40 pips. So I'm at a break even now. Okay. All good. You guys understand that? If it comes up to this red line, could be 47, 50 pips, and then I might be, even myself included, I might be taking out 80%. It's up to you guys. But I got drywall to buy over here. But and then 50%. Okay, so I haven't done that. Where's 50% of that nice big body candle? In case there's pullbacks for anyone holding, like right there. There's the meat of that candle. If we do have to trade back in here, maybe we can hold 50% of this. Right there is exactly 50%. Okay, maybe we can continue to form a flag up here and we continue driving. That's what I would love. Okay, but let's see what happens. Okay, beautiful call out, guys. Borex. Good call. We got also our SST buy at 320. Okay, so look it. Now it's a big bearish candle coming into that green zone. Now let's see what type of reaction we get. And if it comes all the way back down, all the way down there, I know I could get tapped out at break even. I understand that. But I want you guys to learn that risk management is the most important part of trading. It's the most important. Okay. Anytime you go up in an intraday trade or a scalp and you're up 30, 40, 50 pips, you should be protecting your capital. Okay. Sorry guys, I haven't been watching US30, but it did close below there. So that is still red zone. You know, like you can continue. You can see how tight it's trading in here. Okay. Let's continue to build. See the first retest. So we came right into 50% of that zone. We got a wick. Now, half the candle is exhausted. We got 2 more minutes. Can we push up on this selling volume, or is it going to come all the way back down? And maybe that was an initial break and it's coming all the way back down. It could definitely go back up, but I might get hit at break even. And then I got to watch the trade maybe go back up, or it could definitely come all the way back down bearish. Okay. And I'm very close to getting, again, the break even. And then I'm going to be very upset with myself. Why? Because I didn't take out 80%. Okay. I didn't. So I was talking about the drywall, and I just could have paid for a few boards of drywall, sheets of drywall there, and I didn't do anything. So when I was saying the drywall, I was thinking, can I pay for my ventilator? Can I pay for, so I need it to go a little higher. So I'm kind of shopping right now. I'm kind of thinking of what I got to buy at Home Depot. Hopefully this thing can run up there. Maybe I'll get some additional things, maybe some new speakers, maybe some new TVs. Come on, let's run up here so Ron can buy a few more things. A new mouse, Nigel. I don't want a new mouse. This is my lucky mouse. I've had this mouse since I was a kid. I keep replacing the batteries. I keep taking this mouse to the computer stores. I'm like, restore this. It's like an antique. It's like an old 64 Mustang, this mouse. I got a lot of memories with this mouse. I got like 20 different mouses, all these nice ones with fancy lights, and they're high tech. I like this old ghetto one. I've had it since I was a kid, and I love it. But it barely moves anymore. Okay, guys, look at that. We got a beautiful retest. Okay, we're holding 320, 322. We're closing in 20 seconds. Oh my goodness. If we close as a nice big bullish pin bar, we could continue driving. Okay, so we held our block. Does it have a ball for movement? It's got a little toggle wheel. It's like an old wheel. Yeah, I think it was a square at one point, and then evolution made it into a wheel. It's that old. Okay, so we opened ignited bearish, coming back down. So we're still looking. We got our green box below us. Remember the red line? It could still act as support. See where we got our wick? Right at the red line. The red line there was resistance, resistance. Yeah, that was a big candle that broke, but this is volatility. This is more momentum. This is more volume in the markets. So maybe we can continue to hold this 3320. That's where we had our SST buy signal. So hopefully we can continue to hold this and make our way back up. If it needs to come back in, it'll come back in the green box. And hopefully our buyers are pending in there and continue to buy this thing up. NASDAQ is just consolidating in this zone, not really moving anywhere. Same with US30. If you look at US30, it's consolidating inside here. Okay, so it's kind of, for me, a no trade zone. Whenever anything is consolidating, I kind of just wait for it to do its thing, let the market accumulate. I know that US30 is not going to stay trading inside here all day. I know that it's eventually going to maybe make a next move coming back up, or it'll break down and shoot down here. But I let the market accumulate. Okay, so let's see if we can continue to retain support in here. Maybe hold our gold move up. Sometimes I forget the way how gold trades because I don't trade it too often. But man, did I make a mistake up there at 40 plus pips, not taking out 80%? Maybe. But again, let's see if the structure can hold. Worst case scenarios, it's a break even. I've told you guys this many times. Break evens, there's nothing wrong with them. Yeah, they do suck at times. When you get hit, because sometimes when you go to a break even, if you left it like 5-10 pips of breathing room, then it would have built. But again, everyone is different. You got to figure out what's best for you. Okay. But we got a good retest, higher low in the green zone. That's exactly what I like to see. But we got to follow through on the close because we got to ignite it open, and the previous bar was a bearish bar. So can we flip back up and flip a nice candle, turn blue, maybe close above here, and then maybe we're pushing back above here. But ultimately, it's still holding our green zone so far, but we do have 2 more minutes to go. So that's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. Anything can happen in 2 minutes. But what I look at is higher low, closed above there, still retaining 50%, still above there. All we got to do is, this is a hanging man candle in the 5 minutes. Just got to kind of flip it bullish. And guys, I have 15 more minutes on this call. I have to end this at 9 a.m. because my buddy's going to be ringing the doorbell at 9 a.m. He's helping me with everything. So I got to get started with all the renovations down here. So I apologize. Normally, you guys know I like to stay till 10 a.m. with you guys, but we started earlier today. We started at 6 to 9. So just look at our schedule this week. Times are different. Dave is trading Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10. I'll be going Monday and Friday this time, 6 to 10 a.m. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're doing live Londons. Okay, so we're going to start 2 a.m. Eastern, so we can do our analysis for pre-London, and then we can get into the European markets, okay, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Boom, have a good day today. Okay, guys, so 40 seconds to go on the close. You see how we were coming up, and that bearish ignited head is still holding that selling pressure coming down. So it's going to suck if we close below this green box. It could open bearish and come down to that entry point, and then I get taken out on the trade, okay? But we got to watch where it closes in the next 20 seconds. When do I sleep, Lukeman? Not often. I don't sleep a lot. As long as I get 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep, I'm good. That's all I need. I envy guys that sleep 8 hours, 10 hours. I would love that. I haven't slept like that since I was a baby. Okay, so look, we closed below the green box. Okay, so I know it sucks to do this, but I do this. I'm very technical. I know some traders hate me for doing this, but I'm a very technical trader. So that candle proved to me that the sellers closed below. So for buyers, they got to get it all the way back up there. So now it could come down again. Did I enter in the break even too early? Possibly. Am I going to get stopped out? I'll let you guys know in a second. Okay. Right there. They stopped me out. Fuck. Okay. I really wanted to have this trade develop. They just stopped me out there. Okay. So my mistake, I should have cleared 80%. I was talking too much about drywall and, things I needed to buy at Home Depot. I thought I was going to get a little more. I didn't. Okay. So that was a break even. I didn't take out anything. 40 plus pips. My mistake. That's why I said to you guys do your thing. Armando, you told me my stop was too tight. Give it room to breathe. You're maybe absolutely correct about that. So if I gave it maybe, let's say, under the green box, if I gave it, let's see, what is that? How much of a stop loss? So if I gave it an additional 15 pips to breathe, then maybe I still would have been in this. But regardless, guys, that's the trading to a break even. The reason why I do that is because I like to protect my capital, okay, at all times. I can learn from this, no problem. I know what I did wrong. My only thing I did wrong on this trade, it wasn't the entry. I waited for it to close. Again, I got into a trade, second trade of the day, 0 drawdown, and it moved up really nice. I just got greedy. But I'm telling you guys, as a scalper, if you get greedy like this, 30, 40, 50, 60 pips, the market can come down and not only hit your break even, it could come after your stop loss. So just try and get in a habit of taking some money out of the markets, guys. That's all I'm trying to say, and then what you can learn is, like right now, how Armando told me, maybe my stop went to break even was, I should have gave it an extra 10 pips to breathe. I could have. Remember my original stop loss was down below the green box? Even if you substantially move it right there, you've reduced your risk a lot. You can still, if it gets stopped out, you only lose 10 or 15 pips as opposed to losing 40 or 50 pips down there, right? So it's all a work in progress. It's all how you learn when you're trading. Everything we do here, it's all personal to you, you know. When I trade by myself, I'm a little bit more disciplined. But I know there's a lot of new traders on the call, so I want them to see if you don't do anything, what could happen, things like that. Otherwise, I'll get more automatic on these calls and I'll trade really robotic and I just do my thing and you guys do your thing. That's the way how I would hope it is on this call. But sometimes a lot of traders rely on us to tell them what to do. And I don't like to tell you what to do. Because sometimes if I do take out 80% there at 40 pips, and then it runs 100 pips after that, then you guys blame me and say, well, Ron, why did you do that? So I don't want to be part of that. I want you guys to make your own informed decisions. I'll help read the markets with you guys. I trade with you guys. I'll take 100 trades if I have to. I don't care. I'm a scalper. But I need you guys to learn your own rules, right? Don't just do what I do, because you might not like the way how I trade. It's, you know, some traders say, Ron, like, you're a great guy, but I can't trade like you. This is not my style. And I say, that's fine. I like you too, but I'm not telling you, you got to copy this. Okay. You can decide the way how you want to trade. Okay. So that was a break even and shit. I pissed away some drywall. Man, that was like, you see, 40 pips. And then the market came right back down. But what it's doing is it's re-entering the green zone. Okay. So see how it could still hold as support. Like if I stayed with this volume all day today, I'd just be watching. If it closes above here, retest this, I continue to buy that. If it closes below here, I might sell that leg coming down. And US30, it's still really tight leading into 9 a.m. Okay, so we broke that high of the day. We were in that buy, and then it came down, still holding in here. The volume is still consolidating here. We could see US30 break down a little further. We could see it come up and go back up. NASDAQ, very tight consolidation. Just let it continue to accumulate. It'll start to open up during 9 and Wall Street at 9:30. Alex could have covered the Chipotle expenses for next week. Yeah, we're getting a new Chipotle. Should be open anytime soon. It's like 3 minutes away from my house. So I could walk there and get some burritos. Emirate, do I know any places that you can dump loads of gravel? Yeah, where I go fishing, there's gravel pits out there. You can dump it all in there. But it's a big drive for you. It's like 90 minutes or what, 2 hours come out here west of London. Okay, you see guys now how it comes down? Okay, so I always look at the wood, those things. So had I not had a break even, now it's coming to a stop loss, right? If I gave it that room to breathe below there, now it would have got stopped out. So, so just reading the markets, guys, following your rules. You can tweak your rules here and there, but you should have a sound plan every single day when you're trading. Me, today, when I walk away from the markets, I followed my plan today. So I didn't do anything. The only thing I didn't do following my plan, like I followed my stop loss and my break even plan. I didn't follow taking out 80%. That was my bad there. I thought maybe we're going to look to get more and more and more. That's just me being greedy there. Okay. We got a good push on the US dollar. Again, 848 right now. We had some news. Trump expected to speak to Netanyahu this morning. Hopefully he can control this fucking maniac Netanyahu. Sorry for my language, guys, but this guy is committing genocide in real life right in front of us. This guy's a maniac. He's maybe you guys have done your own research. I don't want to get into this, but this guy, holy man, he does not care about human beings. He doesn't care about human life. This guy's an animal. This guy right here. Holy shit. Like, it's unbelievable to watch in live all those innocent children dying. Like, it's just disgusting. Starving these kids for no reason. not letting aid get down there to help these starving kids. It's unbelievable. This guy makes me sick to my core. I can't stand. I don't even want to look at this name on my screen. I want to get rid of this if I can. This guy's a fucking animal. It's unbelievable how you can just go outright and just kill innocent children. Just disgusting. This guy's not a human being. I hope he goes to The Hague. I hope he gets charged with every single crime against humanity. Yeah, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, it's this, Netanyahu. That name right there. Sorry, guys. But I'm just, I don't like to see any innocent children die. No matter what race, religion, ethnicity, color of skin, where you live. It's just, guys, children. I don't even know what to say anymore. Watching this, I watch this, guys, it's live. You can watch this. I've never watched a live genocide in my lifetime, and for us not to say anything and speak up, it would be wrong in my part not to say anything. You guys can say what you want. I don't really care. I know my opinions about this person right here. I can't even say he's a person. It's an animal. Anyone that wants to kill children just for land development and settlement, and it's just stupid. Sorry, guys, I didn't want to go off there, but as soon as I saw that name, it just triggered me right there. I don't even want to look at Financial Juice anymore. I don't want any news about this guy. And not just children. They're not allowing any aid in there, like independent reporters. You can be an independent reporter and you can go into Ukraine and Russia and report on the war in there. And you're independent journalists. They know the risk. To be an independent journalist, and you go in a war zone, you understand that you could die. They understand that, okay? But when you can't go into Gaza, they don't allow you in there. Why are they not allowing you in there? Because they're worried about your life? They're full of shit. They're in there killing children, but they're worried about the reporter's life. They've been killing reporters, sniping them. Reporters have been dying all over. UK reporters, reporters from Canada, reporters from US, reporters from all over Europe, all over, independent. It's just, it's a atrocity what's happening down there. A live genocide. And I hope this guy goes to The Hague. Netanyahu, that's who that is. But guys, that's it for me. I can't go on with this anymore. This name right here kind of, I'm so pissed off right now. But if you guys are going to trade the rest of the day, enjoy everything today. Wall Street's going to open in the next 30 minutes. Right now we got a little bit of coiling up, some consolidation right now in US30 and NASDAQ. Gold is continuing to move. Check this out. It came down, closing above that green zone and can continue to drive, okay? So had I given my original stop loss, I could be right back in, but that's not the way how I trade. It's not about what I could have done, what I should have done. It's all about trading to a plan every single time, sticking to your plan, and going from there, guys, okay? So I gotta leave right now because I gotta start these renovations. Tomorrow morning, guys, just check the schedule. We have changed up the times this week. Dave will still be doing his 8 to 10, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the Zoom. Guys, notice my times here, okay? So we did the 6 to 9 right now. Live London is tomorrow. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you guys want to join us for a completely different session, we haven't done London in a long time. So I have to do it because I got a lot of work to do in the mornings. So tomorrow, Tuesday, 2 a.m., we're going to get started pre-London. We'll take a look at gold. We'll take a look at DAX. That's the German exchange. And if we have time, if you guys want, we can look at some British pairs, some Euro pairs. We can do some currency. If you guys want, like the traditional US30 and NASDAQ, we can definitely do that. But maybe we kind of gear everything towards London markets. So that will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, we'll be back 6 in the morning till 9, okay? And guys, we do have a free blog available for everybody on the website. It's right over here. Come to our website, click on more in the blog. And if you do want to join the Sniper team and trade with everybody in the community, we'd love to have you guys. But if you guys are going to continue trading, just please manage your risk today. It is Monday. It's the first day of the week. It's the first weekday following NFP Friday. So just be careful. We don't have too much news this week, but we do have FOMC next weekend, okay? So look at gold coming right back up. So again, we have a signal at 320. It's a static area. If the volume closes above 320, flip this zone. If you get a pullback, we could enter right back into a gold buy and continue driving up with this, okay? So, and gold target is 3,328, 330. That's kind of like the daily high. It definitely could get up there. It's building nicely. Okay, so keep your eye on gold, and we'll see you guys I should say later tonight, actually, 2 a.m. Eastern. That will be live London. Okay, guys, have a great day. Thank you guys for your participation today. Thank you guys for liking the channel, subscribing, and hopefully you guys learned today. That's the most important thing, is always learning something new. And have a good day, guys. Keep the children, all the innocent children, all over the world. I want to make sure that it's all over the world. There's innocent children dying all over the world for war, but it doesn't make mainstream media. But we pray for humanity. We pray for innocent children. We pray for human lives. That's what we do. War is the worst things that can happen, but it's the world we live in. But soldiers should be fighting soldiers. They should not be targeting innocent children, okay? That's where I stand on that. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. I stand with humanity, but that's where I stand on life. So that's why when I see this name, kind of really, oh man, yeah. Have a good day, guys. God bless everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Live London. Have a good day, everyone.
Recording stopped.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Sniper Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.